Hello.
Hello.
We're here.
We're
back.
made it! Oh!
We're on a different day too. This
It's
is
weird.
I mean, it's the same.
It's a Saturday.
Still a different
Yeah,
weekend.
but it's a different day.
It's an even Saturday, not an odd Saturday.
Technically, we're here on a
odd.
different day every time.
Ooh.
So
Deep.
We are Here Be Dragons. A fun, awesome, cool. How many other buzzwords can I put in here? Spectacular. Radical.
Bodacious.
I could pull out my thesaurus.
I don't know
tubular.
about that one.
We are.
I'm just thinking of what the
D&D
Teenage Mutant Ninja
yeah.
Turtles would say.
Nathan is
Cowabunga.
not a person.
Cowabunga. Nathan is not a person. We do have a robot on the couch.
Mhm.
It's up to you to decide during this session of D&D who that robot is.
Bodacious and
How
radical.
far in the past did I try?
Bodacious and radical. We are a bodacious and radical Dungeons and Dragons group here in currently rainy Los Angeles, California.
In the 1970s.
In the 1970s.
POTUS is here!
POTUS!
Welcome back.
The
sir.
Saturday's realigned!
So really quick before we dig into too much, we wanted to just let you guys know that in light of everything that's going on, regardless of how any of us feels about coronavirus and the actions that are being taken, I think we can all agree food is important.
I like it personally.
So there's a lot of people that are losing access to resources, and on a normal day in LA, 1 in 5 people doesn't know where their next meal is coming from. So what we're doing today, any subs, donations, tips, whatever you guys give, we are giving that to the LA Regional Food Bank so that they can help continue supporting people, especially right now. We do want to encourage you to donate to your local food banks, organizations, support your community how you can.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to let you know that whatever you do here, that's going to go to something bigger today.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, subscriptions, we've already got a few. $5 for each subscription is being donated.
Boom.
Whoop. And the exact amount that you guys donate is what we are going to give. We're going to cover any costs, whatever, so your $5 isn't really like $4.50, $4.87, whatever. It's going to be $5. And if you tip, there's bonuses.
There's
right?
some fun stuff that
There's
happens
always
in the
fun
game.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you'll affect the game, plus you'll affect the world. So that's awesome. $5 is a random scroll, right?
Yep. Random
Random
scroll.
scroll.
These little guys right here.
Mhm.
Scrolls of randomness.
They do some fun effects in the game. Could be little, could be a little bit bigger. We've got a mix of what used to be our $5 and $10 scrolls here. Generally, they'll help the game a little bit. They're not gonna like murder a player or a DM or anything like that. Unless I left that one in there. Whatever.
$10, you can assign a reroll to someone.
Yes.
Um,
What's a reroll, you say?
Well, okay, really quick though. Couple questions.
Oh man.
People want to know how to make Nathan less of a liability and how to debuff him.
Take away his
What do they
pull-up bar.
donate?
You can assign that reroll to the
That's
DM and add a little note when you tip. You can say, "Hey DM, use this against," and I'll keep track over here.
Mm-hmm.
Keep track.
Yeah.
But okay, so we
Yeah.
covered $5. We covered $10 as a assign
Yep.
a reroll, and $20 you basically add an NPC to the game. It could be a
Yeah.
challenger, and it could be a helper.
Friend
But
or foe.
we won't know.
The DM gets to control it, so fun things. If you guys are just sitting in a tavern and a big baddie comes in, he's gonna start smashing up your breakfast. But it might be a friend that joins you at the table. Who knows?
So that leads us to my next point, the hype boss, which we currently have a new one because you guys are already killing it. We've had a handful of subscriptions already, and Jared Hoy donated, so he gets to assign a nat 20.
Oh, snap!
Never. So we have to.
What? This game is already crazy.
Alright, so before we dig in, hype boss quickly. If you take the hype boss spot,
Hype boss is.
hype boss is. Oh geez.
2 already.
Alrighty, 2. We'll get to both of those in just a second.
Dang, yo.
The way they had taken that is by donations, by subs, by follows, etc. Those really count. Because Jared was the first one in there, Gobshite, you get to choose someone on the couch or the DM. They get a free nat 20. In place of a roll of a 20, they can just say, that's going to be a nat 20. And then the next person whoever it was.
POTUS.
which
POTUS.
we have a $20,
So you'll have to figure
we're
out that
starting
NPC
out with
thing.
that
Oh
NPC.
jeez, here we go. Here we go.
Challenger approaches. You so, oh gosh.
You roll out of bed to see a bugbear.
I mean, that's definitely happened to me before.
And just a
Not in this
reminder,
campaign.
guys, because I know you guys aren't fully aware, our DM, Jared, cannot see the chat. So if you have a question, just ask a general question, and you can let us know to ask the DM, but he can't see the chat, so that's all through us.
We'll engage where we can. We're here to tell you a story and tell a story together. So when the players do feel it's the right time, they'll call out a couple comments. They do speed by fast, so sorry if we miss something great. You can always try to get in our Discord. Discord links are below in our Twitch channel, as well as the tip button. All of our sponsors as well. We didn't go over the sponsors today, but do look at them below. Oh man, players, we haven't even started the game.
So
What's going
much
on?
I love these guys.
So,
So-
Gobshite is giving you the nat 20,
Yeah.
but only to put OG Couchdrasek in his place.
OG couch.
Boss
okay.
DM Jared is not on chat, but Gobshite can, you know.
He can basically answer anything, maybe more, than our GM would.
Yeah.
No,
Probably.
but wait, if you use... No, I probably can't take away a donated D20
You
We're still
cannot.
waiting.
with a portent number.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear from POTUS, who he's assigning a nat 22.
So the real POTUS, please assign
So-
your nat 20 at some point. We'll get that marked down.
We'll try to watch for it.
This is wild and crazy already. Chat, we are gonna dive into the story.
Yes.
Players,
I forgot my
On your
portent
marks.
numbers.
all right, important
Sorry.
numbers. Chat, if you do see something that players don't call out that you want to make sure is known,
Just blow
by
up the
all
chat with
means, blow up chat or
Can you look there to confirm?
I don't know. If you know where we're at, come knock on our door.
Come and knock on my door.
Because a few of you do know where we're at. Yeah. Important numbers done.
Aww.
Yep, they're done. They're ready to go.
POTUS has
no.
given Nathan the nat 20.
Oh.
Is it assigned at my
Nathan's
discretion?
He gets to assign it at his discretion.
You can have it if you want to battle
I'll
the
give.
DM.
Look, I'll do one of these on the couch,
Four.
from 1 to 4.
Yeah, I like how he just excludes the GM.
Look, he's got one.
It's alright, it's
He's
alright.
got one.
I'll do it soon enough.
All right, it's Lindsay's. There you go.
I think that's...
You start with a
There you go.
nat 20.
Well,
Yeah,
to
girl.
Yeah.
Be,
Alright. So-
Free time.
Story time.
Wow. All right, we got a lot going on.
To catch everyone up, it's been a little bit. These players had come to a city called Standing Rock, where they had found that there's an upper city and a lower city. The cities are in turmoil. The king of the upper city had just died. The king of the lower city is on his deathbed, much too soon for a drow. There's some craziness going on. There's a party that the players just attended in their fanciest attire, brought to you by a friend of Lord Drackland. But during that fun, amazing party, they were attacked by a big old crystalline dragon.
Man.
It was a man. They
Dragon.
turned into
we
a dragon.
found that out.
Dragon
And then
Who
they-
was never naked?
No, he wasn't naked.
No naked
Despite-
dragons.
Despite the fact that our fighter was looking for naked dragons.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Dragons in the wild. Go wild. But
Listen, it's like with Hulk when he, transforms
Hey.
to the close stay.
Hey.
What happened?
spandex. Spandex must be his thing.
Just making sure we're keeping this,
Yeah, totally. Keeping it
Family
real.
friendly.
Keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
But
real family.
yeah, after the dragon was defeated by our party, the friend that they bumped into from another encounter in another city, such as a prison breakout.
He's back!
Well, he's around. He
He's
flew
somewhere.
off.
He's
and
somewhere.
How mysterious.
all of the
So
other
weird.
planar parties sought room in an inn for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
A couple rooms were bartered off for 1,000 gold, 500 gold, somewhere in there.
In rooms here, we're going about what bread and eggs at the grocery store are now.
So they were gone.
Not available for resale.
Yeah. But there's a few of them still around. So in one room, the tent Linus has been set up where Garth, Ari, and Valari have crashed with the little blink dog named Astro. In another room, Lord Draclin gets his beauty sleep.
Didn't want to share.
Didn't want to share. No, he didn't. He didn't need the gold. Whatever.
That's fine. We didn't really want to share with him anyway.
As the morning begins, there's a lot of shuffling across the floors of the inn. Not paper shuffling, foot shuffling.
Sorry.
The patrons from the other planes seem to be packing up and hustling out quickly. You hear clinks and clanks from the kitchen as plates and dishes and bowls are being shuffled in and out, going out full, coming back empty very, very quickly. It wakes all of you up to this noise as you're in the lower city portion of the Stumble On Inn. It's a bit quieter here, but you hear the rustling upstairs, even through the open tent doors. The pillow goblins are all leaning up to the edges of the tent, sleeping-ish, if a pillow goblin would. But in this pillow fortress, there's rest.
Before we get started, I don't think we fully resolved Jared Hoy's donation and drew his scroll.
Oh,
That
yes.
is very true.
What was the donation size? 5?
5.
5, cool.
Well, I
A
mean,
scroll
5
for
is the
Jared,
one.
and then eventually we'll have the NPC from POTUS. And yes, everything in our tent is pillows.
Yes, it is a pillow fort.
Pillow ponies.
Oh, deity of luck. DM gains immediate disadvantage.
Boom, baby!
So, I'm at disadvantage, and I'm bringing in a friend.
Jared gave disadvantage to Jared.
Is Creslin's pillow in Linus's? Probably not, right?
No, Kreslin hasn't met this party yet.
Kreslin hasn't met this party yet, but the pillows look very similar to Kreslin's favorite pillow that he was carrying around.
Got it. Not that I know who Kreslin is.
The real POTUS with the planes, trains, and automobiles quote. Those aren't pillows! Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sorry. that's
Players,
just a
what is
great
it that you
moment.
do as you hear the inn being almost rapidly evacuated?
I'm gonna rush out quickly just to see if there's like any news. Any news.
She
anything.
knocks over the paperwork that
I'm
Garth
gonna go
is
get a
looking
cup
at.
of that black juice that
The
wakes you up.
The potent juice of
Yes.
Yes.
And listen for any interesting conversations.
Perfect. So as you exit the
Also bacon.
bacon, lots of it. As you exit the tent and the room that you're in, the rest of the party sees you kind of rush off, and you get into the hall, and there's many travelers with bags and shuffling out. You look down the hall and you see the front tables where food was being served, and you see a few dirty tables and a few travelers just scooping down their porridge, downing their drinks, and getting out the front door fairly quickly as if they're a little late for their travel.
For that portal.
For their portal, which,
It's a portal.
funny enough, that's how they got here and that's how they return. You hear mumblings of getting out of town quickly as the situation is a bit tense at the moment. The two cities are in a little bit more turmoil after last night's weird dragon battle. You hear one man shuffle off past you and goes, "Oh, I don't even have time for dinner. Come on. Let's go get our portal." And one guy yells behind, "Dinner or breakfast? What time is it here?" And then another, "Is it lunchtime?" And this whole party of oddly dressed beings shuffles
Was it
past you.
Steve?
No. It wasn't Steve. It wasn't Steve. Or his friends. But there's a bunch of confusion as people are stumbling out weary-eyed in the Undercity as there's no sunlight to give them sense of day. You believe it is about early morning, 6, 7 a.m. Earlier than one might want to get up. The rest of the party, what do you do? You don't hear all of this, you just hear some commotion going on.
I think Garth just starts pulling his things together, trying to consolidate. I mean, my thinking is, yeah, sorry, boss. Very crunchy pretzels here.
Very, very crunchy pretzels, and we've got compression on that's bringing up those levels. Those quiet crunches are nice.
It's just part of that, it's the sound
It's
effects of the
breakfast.
word. Yeah.
We've got a full Foley crew.
Mm-hmm. So we, I think he wants to make sure he's got all of the things together. I would assume we're still going to keep the room, though. At least for now. So, keep some things, in the room. Doesn't need to be wearing the fancy clothes anymore. Is back into his normal everyday attire.
Yep.
He's really quick gonna, be ruffling through everything and then, find TikTok's cloak and just, really quick rummage through the pockets really quick and see, Did I miss anything there?
As you really quickly rummage through the pockets, you do find a few more bent up silverware pieces, which you can tell by grabbing them that they're enchanted in some way, shape, or form, much like the other ones in the past portal creation were. You also find a little checklist, it seems, in very, very, very terrible handwriting. A few little marks next to some words that seem to be items, but the handwriting is so scrawly that you're not sure if the original writer knew what they were writing.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'll tuck that cloak away.
Perfect.
And then kind of pull myself together and just look around and say, well,
She already left.
then I'll look at the one other person still here.
And the puppy dog.
And the dog. Oh, I do want to talk to Valara. I was thinking over some things. I was wondering, that wonderful collar that your puppus has, what were you calling him?
Astro?
Astro, yes! Oh, yes. Sorry, I've been working on a lot of things last night. I was wondering if you might want to, I don't know, trade.
For what?
Well, I have a number of things that you might like. I do have the belt of recall, I believe that's what we were calling it. You could trade places with with Ari, rather, if ever you were too far up in a combat.
But it doesn't make the dog fit in my pocket.
Do you want the dog to always be in your pocket?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, it's helpful.
Well, that's fine then. If that is the case, and then perhaps we will stumble upon the shop again, and I can just find one for myself.
Yeah, I say if we run into the kid, maybe I can help get a deal.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. I just have so many ideas of what I could do with it. But we should probably catch up with Ari, don't you think? Get the day going?
I guess so.
There is a mystery afoot.
Alright, as you catch up with Ari, Lord Drackland, how does your morning start?
4:30 a.m.
Okay, you are up before the hustle and bustle.
Drackland
Perfect.
is up to begin his sword fighting practice.
1,
So
2, 3.
pull my rapier out, begin my forms for about an hour and a half, and then
Wow.
taking whatever accommodations they have to shower and clean myself up, and then would be downstairs around 6:30ish. Is that what you said when the hustle and bustle?
Yeah, that's about when the hustle and bustle was at its peak. You had found yourself a table for breakfast, and as you sat down, the inn started picking up just a little bit more. Tables around you were getting filled and emptied very quickly as the patrons were consuming their food and leaving a handful of coin on the table. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The patrons
Consuming the
their
food, Foley.
Just suck on it.
As you were sitting there enjoying your breakfast, and the patrons were moving out, you do see the rest of your newfound friends come stumbling down the hall a bit, looking a bit flabbergasted and like they had just woken up, trying to figure out what's going on. In the inn, this is one of the nicer tables just off to the side. It can seat about 5 or 6 people. No one else has sat with you. It is all yours at the moment.
Well, hello, my friends.
Lord Drackland,
Yes.
how was your evening?
It's fair.
Wonderful. Rest well.
Yes, well enough. And I got my morning practice in, so can't complain.
Practice of, do you play an instrument or?
Oh no, and I'll snap. and like a rapier appears in my hand.
Oh!
Sword
Yes.
fight. You know,
At that moment, the table next to you had a large figure with a cloak drawn over. He hears the snap and a little bit of crackle as the rapier forms in your hand. And he stands up and turns around, slams down his stein, and it breaks on the table. Pulls the hood back, and he appears to be a war chief. A large orc, painted face, blade slung across his back that he pulls up, and he looks around and he seems completely out of place, but he takes this as someone is trying to come after him. So players, I need you to roll for initiative at breakfast.
Thanks, POTUS.
This is the foe that I
POTUS
had rolled.
approves.
Oh!
Large painted face orc war chiefs rule.
All right.
This is
Yeah,
the war
20.
chief, just trying to enjoy his breakfast, thinking he's getting assaulted here.
Oh, I would give you that.
All right,
Yes,
so
incredible.
let's
Yes.
see here. Ari, you said you had 20 total, or 20 on the die?
20 total.
20 total, perfect. Garth,
21.
21. Lord Drackland,
22.
22. Wow.
Oh.
Cheaters. Valari, are you going to say 23 at this point?
I got an 8.
Valari.
She's still waking up.
Valari is just like, where's that coffee?
0 F's given.
Alrighty. Fortunately for you, you do see the war chief stand up and kind of let out a yawn as he grabs for his blade. Lord Drackland, you are at the top of the turn order, and this sword has just come up over the shoulder of the orc.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't ready for this, so give me a moment to think. I mean,
Breakfast in a battle.
You know what? While you're thinking, I would like to point out that we have esteemed Nene following us now. Welcome. They've been
Slay!
jumping in the chat saying slay. To the fact Voss is pointing out that every player has on-point hair games tonight. So good job,
Thank you,
everyone.
Voss. Thanks, I watched
Thanks.
it.
I was having trouble with it earlier, so that really means a lot to me.
And then the DM, however, the DM's just like,
Shadow Rails is asking while he's looking, can we not use TikTok bucks anymore to add friends or enemies?
that
that
has
been
been disabled at the moment.
Okay.
Because it doesn't alert us properly, and we would hate for you to waste your TikTok bucks. I'm working on plugins to make that happen. So save up, and you can just throw
fear.
tons of friends or enemies into this
Oh, there
at
you
some
go.
point.
Voss says you never encourage the GM.
And
Always.
And
Oh,
POTUS
yeah.
points out, how can Drackland not be ready? He did rapier warm-ups for 90 minutes before practice.
So,
so seeing this happen to that point, Drackland, well, all right, and then bonus action, I will cast Hex on the
Right.
orc, and that's gonna be
And we'll kick in some battle music.
that's going to be at 3rd level because I'm a warlock and all my slots are 3rd level.
Perfect.
I'm gonna choose one ability. When you cast a spell, the target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability. I'm gonna choose Strength to be their disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get up from the table and I'm going to slam my rapier into the orc.
You're recently
Slam it?
summoned. Just slam it in.
No, I'm
stab
gonna
it.
stab it in. Thank you for correcting me.
I'm going to slam it. Point first.
How dare I mistake my weapon action? Crazy.
My weapon action.
I should
Even
know
though I
better.
Even though I practiced.
I should know better. Okay, and I believe I get 2 attacks.
I think.
So that's gonna be a 15 to hit.
15 to hit. You swing out, and you see that it glances just off of the side of the mail on the orc's chest.
Okay.
You miss.
Where's our druid when we need him?
Where's the druid?
all the bad guys can wear metal armor again.
Yeah. All the bad guys are completely tin canned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like fairly certain. I need to look. I'll look this up after this. I'm fairly certain I get a second attack. So I will reset
We'll
my
allow
form.
for it, yeah.
Reset my form and go again. That's gonna be a 19.
19. You realize your form was just a little off, and you twist the rapier just a little on your hand, and you stab out, and it goes right between some of the plating.
So I missed.
Roll for damage.
Oh,
No, like you stabbed in between the plating.
perfect. Okay, that's gonna be a 15 points of damage.
15 points of
Oh.
damage.
Good morning.
It's not 120 points though.
And I will double check my warlock ability.
Alrighty, Garth.
I think Garth is just a little thrown. Like, "Eh, what? Why are we fighting? Who are you? So he is just going to cast grease underneath the orc's feet and
Alright.
try and knock him down.
Grease is what, a 5-foot radius?
Oops. It is a 10-foot square.
Oh! So you're casting it.
I'm going with it though. I'm going with it.
So that
Good
means
thing I practiced this morning.
Yeah.
The floor is grease.
each creature in the area
Mm-hmm.
must succeed a dexterity saving throw or
Even if
fall
we're still sitting. Or
prone.
was I standing?
Everyone
Is
assuming
that all of
standing.
us though?
Yeah,
All of
every
you need
creature.
to. Yep.
Oh no, you're rolling for Astra, right?
I'm prone.
14 for me.
It's
what
a
is-
dexterity. You
It's a
said?
save on
The save is a 14, so you're still up.
It's a
dexterity. Yeah.
Kind of like slipping around, but I'm up.
It's a 21.
I had a
Perfect.
7.
I have a nat 20. I know exactly what I'm doing with this spell, so I am gonna stay up.
Astro gets a 19,
Oh,
so he stays on his
Good,
little
doggo.
puppy
I hadn't
feet.
finished my coffee yet.
The coffee's all over you as you fall backwards.
Perfect.
Sorry, it just seemed like let's knock him down.
Yeah.
All right, and let's see. With
Always
the
knew this
war
place
chief.
was a real greasy spoon.
The war chief does stay standing, but
Is that with the disadvantage that you have on your next roll?
Oh, that's true.
no. The war chief does not stay standing. He ends up like slipping and
Thanks,
dropping
Gobshite.
right onto his butt, and a server walking past ends up just slipping, and plates go up into the air,
They're
and a
just
couple
walking.
forks just
Alright.
kind of land sticking into the ground. A knife lands right between the orc warlord's legs, and another patron who is hustling out ends up landing square on her face and sliding towards the door.
I'm so glad I did this. I am so glad I did this.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh.
All of a sudden,
yeah.
Larry, Curly, and Mo walk through the door, and
Okay, it is now Ari's turn.
What a joy.
You're
Yikes.
prone, so you can use your action to stand up.
I'm gonna say, dude, we killed a dragon last night. Why are you messing with us? And then I'm gonna say, Brianna, cast web.
All right.
I don't get to roll for that.
Imagining you like you're on your back, like
The
we just killed a dragon last night.
Dude, my coffee!
the orc tries to move out of the way, but since he's sitting on his butt, he can't get up and roll quick enough. That Brianna turns and shoots web, and it wraps the orc's arms up, and he just kind of is sitting there, tied up,
And he has disadvantage on strength.
grumbling.
Yeah!
And
Unless it's a saving throw.
Just for those who don't know, Brianna is my pet spider construct.
yeah, you've got a little
So.
pin that turns into a construct spider when you talk to her.
So what did I see? Because I have no familiarity with
Oh.
this spider.
So for everyone who didn't see and you hear the call out, you hear a little ting and then and you see a spray of web just shoot out
Of
from
my shoulder.
about Ari's shoulder area.
That's new. Okay.
And then do I have? Can I stand up or is
You can use your action to stand
I'm
up.
gonna stand
and
up.
All right, there you go. So you've stood up. It is little Astro's turn, and he actually looks up past the orc who's now like struggling and sees the meat that's sitting at the table where the orc was at. He teleports up there, and he starts gnawing on the meat, wagging his tail, looking at the orc like he can't do anything about it. And you hear a little happy "Arr!" as he's chewing into the meat. Valari, it's your turn. You see your happy puppy enjoying his free breakfast. An orc is now sitting there, arms webbed up in front of you, has been stabbed, and currently is unable to move. What would you like to?
I'll just be like, it's too early for this, and probably go sit at the table.
You're gonna go sit at the table. All right. So you walk off.
Bye.
Or you sit back down at the table that's right there that has a little bit of food on it. The poor waiting staff that was tripping up is trying to clean off the mess that he made on the edge.
Is there food on the table?
The remainder of Dracklin's breakfast?
Can I start eating it?
Sure.
Thanks.
Do I notice this?
Roll for perception. Please.
This is maybe the most important roll of the
It
session
might
for
be.
me.
It might be.
That's a natural one.
A natural one. You have
What
absolutely
breakfast?
no idea. You actually
I forgot that I had
actually
breakfast
might
there.
think that
Oh my
the waitstaff is
gosh.
just cleaning the table with your breakfast on it, so you go, oh man.
This is great. I'm so happy
I
right
just
now.
forgot that
It
you
is.
have-
It is the war chief's turn, and nope, does not break out. He struggles a bit with the web.
Does he say anything?
Ends up falling back, and he's just mumbling and just real angry, and you can't quite pick out what he's saying. It sounds like a different dialect than you're used to. As it comes back around here to Lord Dracklin's turn, you have a little bit of blood at the end of your rapier, and the orc is now fallen back on his back.
Stick my rapier to the orc's neck. Shall we continue?
He lets out a little grimace and lays his head back, and in just a few seconds' time, a couple of the guard come rushing over as they were just outside. One still with a little bit of egg dropped onto his chest from his hasty morning breakfast. They walk in and they kind of look at the group, and one of them has an uneasy footing on the
watch your
floor.
step.
And
Watch your step.
ends up kind of scooting himself over and looking around and goes, well, I think you're coming with us, sir. And looks down at the orc and kind of grabs his shoulder, and the other guy stands just outside the grease and pulls him out, and they just drag this orc out the door into the lower city streets. The waitstaff is scooting over this little bit of grease here.
Give
and-
it just a few more seconds. It'll only last a minute.
And the whole dining space is quiet. Astro is the only one really making noise at this point as he's gnawing and making little grumbly, happy tones. But the waitstaff was like carefully putting their stuff into bins and walking it to the back. You're getting eyes from all directions. The bartender kind of looks up and looks at you and squints just a little bit. Oh, you lot were in here the other day. Quite the mess you've made here.
He started it,
I did see that, and it just seemed like he came out of nowhere.
right?
Didn't understand it at all. That's why we didn't kill him, though.
Thank you for not getting too much blood on everything. And he looks down at the couple little droplets on the floor,
Prestidigitation.
and they disappear in front of his eyes.
They'll be gone. They'll be back in a little bit.
All right, breakfast is on me.
Coffee?
We've got some of that. We'll bring it in.
I already have breakfast. I'm fine. And I sit down in front of
the
my
plate is
now
empty.
empty plate.
Yep.
And I'm just sitting there.
I can bring some more out for you. I know what you ordered. We'll get it out shortly. Are you all catching a portal today?
No.
We weren't.
There are dragons here. We're staying.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say the portals are closing soon. Apparently the magic surrounding them is too volatile. There's been portals opening up on a few of the other islands, and apparently pulling youngsters through. There's reports that one came with his pillow.
What?
Yeah, so they were pulling
No.
young fighters from their beds or something. But I'll get breakfast out to you. Best of luck. And he
Thank you.
hustles off to the kitchen. Food quickly comes out as they had prepared in batches everything needed for all of the patrons. Fresh hot meats, some bacon, there's some eggs, there's a few pastries that had shown up, a couple small mugs of the hot, fresh brew. Yep, exactly that. And
let me give you some added.
Yep, breakfast is served.
So sorry.
I have rolled, and ladies, you're the only ones left on the couch. The other two,
Perfect.
you are the weakest links.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is a new reality show where we forcefully eject our members. Oh, the springs aren't working. Well, players, breakfast is being served to you all. The inn is quieting down, and there's a few stragglers of the travelers getting out of the inn as the full plates arrive. You're the few in the inn at this point.
Did anybody else see what happened to my plate of breakfast?
I point to the new plate of breakfast. That
No,
right there.
the one I had before.
They probably took it.
I didn't see anything. I was focused on the orc chieftain.
I waved the server over, or the boss man.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen a tall, roguish-looking human dude around in the last 24 hours?
There have been a lot of travelers in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Could be.
Nobody's staying here, though, that...
There were
Well,
quite a few.
Let me try something. I'll use Mask of Many Faces to make myself look like him.
This guy!
Me.
Quite a party trick you have there.
Just a minor trick.
I think I saw him about town when I was picking up some of the fresh food for this morning. But no, he hasn't been staying here.
Are there other inns in the...
I'll take it down.
There's a really tiny hovel up the road. There are a few travelers just come and go. Apparently, they clean it and start fresh, and it was someone's home. And kids these days, whatever they're doing.
Weird.
A lair B&B, as it were.
Probably.
Nailed it.
There's an app for that. I mean, there's a dragon for that.
Very interesting. I do think we should, if we can find him, we should definitely talk to him, but,
Talk to who?
Ebrin?
Ebrin.
Oh, your
Our
strange
buddy from Green
friend.
Bar who saved my life, and
one who-
y'all's too.
How did he fly out of there?
I have no idea. Just kidding. That was me.
Yes, I was putting two and two together. There was a moment that I stopped flying, and then I saw him fly, so... math.
There was.
But, oh, that's right. I totally forgot. And I look to my belt and I find the circlet that was the quiver. Like, oh, I don't happen to have much use for arrows or anything of the sort. Valari, don't you have a crossbow?
Yeah, you mean with these two right here?
Oh yes, those two crossbows. This is some sort of quiver. Would you possibly be willing to trade this for the papa collar?
And under the condition that Doggo gets the collar when he needs the collar.
Fair.
Because it's Doggo's collar.
Boom.
Look at that teamwork.
As you pull the collar off,
Oh, it's not teamwork.
the doggo grows just a
Bartering.
little bit more, and he was set down on the floor with the remainder of the plate by one of the waitstaff, and he lets out a little puzzled harumph as the meat in front of him has gotten smaller to him.
Like, what happened?
What happened? So he is now a rough 18-pound meaty little dude.
Pooch.
Pooch.
While we're sitting there, can I grab like a handful of arrows and just like put it in the circlet?
Yeah.
And then I grab a handful more.
Yeah, as you place the arrows into the circlet, they seem to disappear into thin air, almost as if that circlet just disintegrated them. But as you're placing them in, it looks just like an opening of a quiver.
And then I'm gonna reach in and pull one out.
and you reach in and pull one out. You don't see anything different about
So I
it.
put 'em on.
But as soon as you're done like fiddling with the opening, you can see right through this little ring.
Yeah.
But it does look like it'll clasp nicely onto a belt or a satchel.
I kind of lean in to her and just say, "It would be a great way to just, I don't know, move arrows past a place that might not want them."
So we should go find some answers about last night. Yeah? Done? Food's
Yes.
good? Alright. I head to the door.
As you head to the door, you are exiting into the lower city. Its lamps are lit well. You hear the bustle of the normal morning trade. There's a few carts up ahead that you'd expect to still have more produce and more items to buy, but they're quite empty, and a few of them are starting to roll back home, and you see a few large bags of coin sitting on some of the carts that are rolling off as if they had a really good morning haul with all the new visitors. But the streets aren't overly crowded at this point.
Do we think we'll get more answers uptown or down here?
I feel most concerned about the woman hosting the party last night not showing up.
Okay.
I was.
I give him a look.
What's that look?
Nothing. Let's go uptown.
You're the one who keeps inquiring about Ebron,
Fine.
Ari.
I go uptown.
Interesting
No
how
answer.
quickly we changed that subject.
Does she blush?
I don't know.
Roll
Does
for
she blush?
roll for deception or
Roll
something.
for deception.
Roll for blush.
9 on the dice. I don't know what plus
What
I
is
get
she-
to
Your
blush.
charisma is -2, and that's a charisma thing.
You turn bright red, but you think you held it.
Yeah. Going upstairs.
You all push back through the doorway of the inn and follow up the stairs. The sun shines brightly through the front windows. There's a few more people at this side of the inn. They seem to be having a standard morning breakfast. A couple families sitting around tables. A couple small school bags sitting next to the families as the children are getting ready to go off to school, enjoying a nice breakfast. The streets up here as well are fairly quiet, and you do see carts rolling home already, and there's only 1 or 2 carts sitting out in the front where there had been a bunch prior.
There's a very important question that I think needs to be addressed. Real POTUS asked, can Tink jump off a couch with those itty bitty legs? She can, and she does, but we try to not let her because the issue is more of her back. We just don't want her to get hurt.
Them long dog backs.
Long dog back.
It would be very expensive.
A ramp
if
onto
she
the
were to
table
get
and
hurt.
full sofa access. Absolutely.
We
For
have
the
a
queen.
ramp in the living room, just not in here. If anybody's ever seen a picture of this room, the
We're
ramp
cozy.
isn't able. Anyways, I digress.
Pictures of this room
Yeah.
are on Discord, so you can go see them there. And we can add more to Discord to show you really how large our LA set is.
It's so big.
So large.
So LA, so Hollywood.
So large you can see my hand here. Go here.
Oh yeah!
I teleported.
Wait,
I
do it again,
teleported.
do it again, I missed it.
Here. To here. That's
Magic.
How
how.
did you do that?
Party trick.
I'm in a different room and I just.
Jared, how did you do that?
Mage hand!
Oh, cool.
Oh, that makes sense.
Garth is going to say to everyone, what are your thoughts about going to the law enforcement? After all, they are a part of the town's safety, and I've been wanting to talk to them just about our presence and how we might be more helpful, and just so that we have less of these moments of we helped and then they just push us aside.
Fine by me, but I am not joining this guard. 1 was enough.
Oh, yes. You are wanted
Yep.
for desertion.
What?
I
Yeah.
moved.
She joined the army and then ditched it.
Technically, I was
After
carried
she
away
broke out a bunch of people.
without
Yeah,
my...
it was a town guard. She was protecting the town and then was displaced from said town.
I was a volunteer,
Was
though.
Ebron involved with this leaving?
No. It was a house that
She
stood
didn't
up.
chase
Not directly.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
just
well,
wondering.
we can go to the law enforcement.
It's not a bad idea.
So, Yes, I guess I would find a woman. Unless you have a map, don't you? That map doesn't happen to point out anything with like a shield on it, symbolizing
Don't believe
police.
We could just
Guard.
ask for directions.
Well, yes, but look, that mother right there. She's trying to get her child off to
I
school.
mean, I know where the
and
prison is.
You know where the prison is?
Yeah.
It's a place to start. They usually put a prison by. Might as well. Which way do we go?
That way. Where are we at? We're at the end, right?
Yeah, there's a little red star.
She leads
in
us to the
center.
prison.
So we have to go southeast.
We go southeast.
I believe outside the city
Outside
walls.
of the walls. So
Oh.
we actually have to go
Oh.
south or east, then south or east.
That won't be it.
I did not realize it was outside of the city.
Yeah.
That makes very much
I go up
sense.
to the mom with her kids and say, where's the police station? Please.
Police.
The what, my dearie?
Guard tower,
Oh, the guard tower. There's.
the Popo, the 5-0, enforcers of the law.
You must be from out of town, but
Yep.
there's stations.
We just got a portal in. Just yesterday.
It
Sorry.
was a portal!
You've been drinking a bit of
Coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Mm-hmm.
what it's called?
Yes. I named it.
Coffee.
She
'Cause it
drank it once and it went down the wrong tube.
made me cough.
Covfefe.
Yes.
They're stationed at most of the entrances and exits of the town, but there is one station up by the front of the castle, is where most of them go in and out.
Perfect.
Thank you.
By the barracks?
There's a barracks.
Yes,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
That's
that
literally
makes
where they
sense.
house guards.
The woman quickly puts her head down and scoops a bit of food into the young child's mouth next to her.
Having a
And-
map and being able to read it are two different things.
Very true.
How old is the child and what? We're in the lower city, right?
You're in the upper city at this
We
point.
went up.
Oh, we're in the upper city, okay. How old is the child that she's feeding?
About a year and a half. It's a young human child. She's a human mother, and it looks like the other child at the table is a half elf, and the father is an elf.
Okay.
I want to read something.
To the barracks.
The barracks. All right. You exit into the city streets.
We just have to go east and then south of the castle.
Just south of the castle, yeah. So you head back to the main area where you first fought the blue dragon when you entered town.
Mhm.
So the fountain is drained as it had been cracked and water started seeping. There's a couple blankets still out from the night before, as families must have just ran when they saw the dragon amidst the dome that had happened at the party. There's a small child's shoe and a boot that you see as you go out into the road. Evacuation was quick last night, and there are apparently no cleanup crews for it.
I waved back to Shadow Reels, who waved from her bakery.
Oh, Shadow Reels Bakery, she waves from the window. Yes. You're able to wave back. The bakery is in full line out the door. Around the
Aw,
corner.
Dang.
Good luck getting any of the sweet, sweet pastries today. You have to get in line early tomorrow, instead of sword
Ice.
practice. Come on. But as you're out there,
sorry,
you do
Sarah.
see one small cart that's got a couple little trinkets sitting on top of it. A young gnome is sitting next to the cart, and he's just kind of looking around, waiting for someone to come buy a few things off of his cart. Off to the side, there's a couple guardsmen who are patrolling and watching everyone in the area. And as I said, the fountain was emptied. You see a small group of children jumping into the fountain, running circles in it, and having fun in a new area of town that they're not able to set foot in normally.
Do I see the kid who sold me the collar?
You do not.
What kind of trinkets is the little gnome guy?
The little gnome guy.
It's not Sparky, right?
No, it's not Sparky.
Okay.
You notice Sparky from a mile
Right,
away with
okay.
his mage hand and awkward
Mhm.
limp. You do see a gourd of some sort sitting on top. A old dusty book, and it looks like a frying pan. Weird trinkets sitting on top.
She likes big books and she likes frying pans.
I would like to look at the book and say, well, first I'll say, hello, good sir.
Hello, friends. This is my shop of wonders.
Wonderful. What do you have for us today?
He steps up on his tippy toes and looks under the cart. The cat book, the breakfast pan, the gourd thingy.
Cat book.
Cat book. As you look, you tippy toe a little bit and you look up and you see that there's a big symbol of a cat kind of sunk into the leather binding on the front of this book.
Like a shape of a cat?
Like
or just like
an outline of a cat
Like
sunk
a
into it.
cat that looks very upset.
Not a
and
grumpy one or
Okay.
a upset one.
Okay.
Not a snaggletooth, not a
It's not
snarl
eating
tooth, not a
lasagna.
saber-tooth. No lasagna.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the cats. But you do see like an outline of like a silhouette of a cat on the front of the book.
Good. I will pick up the book and look
Right.
at it.
As you open the binding, it almost opens itself. And it opens wide in your hands, and a cat appears. Full-size tabby cat. Standing on the pages, lets out a little purr, looks around, stretches, yawns, and curls up on the book.
Now I can't read anything. Hello? I like pet
You
the
stroke
cat.
it. It's 100%
Real cat?
You don't put your hand through it, nothing. It purrs a little bit and it sits up and looks at you and blinks with its sleepy, big old cat eyes.
Oh, this is very interesting.
I walk over and pick up the frying pan and look to see if there's anything.
As you pick up the frying pan,
Eggs show up.
Breakfast appears.
Oh man, then we need that frying pan.
Right.
For
as you
real.
pick up the frying pan, you smell your favorite breakfast that your grandfather cooked for you as a child, just almost as if it was just recently cooked in the pan.
But it's not like actually
It's
there.
not actually there, no. But you do smell faint hints of it, and it just takes you back briefly.
I try to... I'm like, can I close the book? Is the cat...
The cat just kind of moves and looks at you and lets out a little growl, but not any hissing or anything. Just like, what are you doing to me? And it's trying to sleep, and it's rocking back and forth on the book.
Good sir,
Yeah?
I opened the book.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's a friendly one.
What does that mean?
I call her Fluffy.
Do
I-
unfriendly cats come out of the book?
No, and you see him put his hand over his arm where you notice a scratch across it. Sometimes, maybe.
Very interesting. How do you get the book to close?
Oh, simple. And he reaches out and he pets Fluffy on the head. All right, I'll see you later, kitty. And he grabs her and he lifts her off. And just as he was going to like set her down, she disappears just as quickly as she reappeared, and the book kind of eases up to close.
What does this do?
Oh, it cooks breakfast. But not just any
And
breakfast.
you were making fun of
Your
me.
favorite breakfast.
Like with a magic word, it just makes it, or like I have to do the work and it.
Just apply heat.
I'll take it.
All right. Oh man, and he's rustling through his papers. Oh, Dad's gonna kill me if I sell it for the wrong. 2 gold?
Okay.
Oh no.
Son.
Yeah.
It's probably worth more than 2 gold.
Okay. He digs through his papers.
You buying today,
20 gold?
Draki?
How much gold do I think it's worth?
You think it's probably worth about 40 or 50. You've seen other trinkets like this before where it is imbued with some form of magic, and you know that it's not a simple, cheap thing. And the kid starts to sweat, and he's like digging through papers. I can't find it.
It's worth about 40 to 50 gold.
80 gold and it's yours.
Let's not get greedy.
I put it back.
50 gold and it's yours.
I mostly stay at inns, let's be real. I'm not doing a lot of cooking.
okay.
I'll pull out 50 gold
Oh,
and
thank
give
you,
it
sir.
to him
Thank you.
for the pan,
Yeah, thank you.
and I'll give it to you. Every princess needs a pan.
I'm not. I still. Okay. I tie it onto my belt.
Draklin, you briefly, as you picked it up and held it, you smelled breakfasts that your mother used to order from the kitchen for you. The breakfast that you may or may not have enjoyed so much growing up, but you reminisce about your childhood at the very long table in the castle.
Okay.
I wonder what the gourd does. What are the odds that that gourd turns into a carriage?
Odds? What do you mean?
Percentages.
Percentages? Like, none.
What does it do?
Because it's tasty.
It makes noise when you shake it.
Okay. I'm so sorry. We're on a very important mission. We got kind of distracted.
I'm so sorry. Yes. Well, do you sit here much selling things?
Once in a while I'll bring stuff, yeah?
All right. We'll keep an eye out for you again because these are very interesting trinkets.
Can I quick pick up the gourd and shake it? Just
Yeah, as you pick up the gourd and shake it, you rattle it and look up briefly to see Astro about 30 feet over, sniffing at a lunch pail of a child walking down the road. And as you look up and see that, the rattle echoes from the gourd into your head, and you seem to like turn into a wisp and twirl right up behind Astro, and you drop right behind him. And then the rattle stops in the gourd.
and I quick grab Astro and shove his face back from the lunch.
The kid at that moment
kidding.
is looking around.
I'll take it.
Hey, okay, that'll be 40 gold. He yells.
I'll give you 10.
You did just sell your room for 1,000 last night.
10 isn't enough. Let's meet in the middle. 36.
The middle.
Do I have an idea how much that one's
The
worth?
middle is
This-
20.
This one is one that you'd probably say is about 25, 30 gold.
What?
I'll give you 20.
25 and it's a deal.
No, the middle is 20, and you said the middle.
Technically between 10
Fine.
and 40.
Fine. As long as you just make sure to give me the money before you run away.
I shake the gourd.
What do you do when you shake the gourd?
Moves the hips a little.
What do you do when you shake the gourd?
I was looking at him, so I just shake the
You
gourd.
teleport like right up in front of him, and you're looking down at him. He's looking up at you, and he puts his hands up as if to wait for you to drop the coins in his hand.
Like I literally dropped it.
Yeah, you drop it in his hands, and he pulls it down. Yep,
Botus,
thank you.
that's full on Lauren. Ari's intelligence is -1. My
So,
skills with math are much better than
We have the Gourd of Travel, as you've now figured out what it is.
What's my pan called?
I don't know, you've not
Pan of
applied heat yet.
breakfast.
The pan of Draculin's
I'm
breakfast.
You've not applied heat yet, he told you.
I'm gonna look back at Astro and shake the gourd again.
You teleport right behind Astro and you hear, "Arr!" And he looks up and around and looks over at you and wags his tail. You do note that the seeds at this point don't rattle as heavy. They kind of just slide around. Seems that you only get about 3 uses per day. You just blasted your 3
So you
uses.
just used them up.
So you now have this. To you, it's a small gourd.
They're all gourd.
Oh.
It looks like one that you'd get in the fall time, dried and hollowed out. All right.
Barracks, yeah?
The youngster
Yeah.
starts pushing the cart off with the book remaining on top.
Hey, what's your name?
You can call me Mo!
Cool. Bye, Mo.
As he goes off.
As a cat book.
Oh my gourd. Thank you, Shadow Rails.
Alright. So he goes off towards the mansion area and cuts down a street before he gets all the way to the mansion. You all will have to... The mansion is to your north. You all have to go towards the castle at this point to get to the barracks.
Yep. We'll turn
Towards
that
the
way.
castle.
Towards the castle. As you head towards the castle, you hear a flap of large wings overhead, and a shadow goes past on the ground. You look up, and the red dragon lands on top of the castle perch, and you see in his mouth some shiny object hanging out. It looks as if it were a bit of armor plating.
Oh, dang.
But not any armor plating that you've noticed in town or in your travels yet. But it's very ornate. You see some gold and silver edging on it. And he takes it into his hovel at the top and curls up, and you hear a big kaboom as he settles in. A couple children are looking up and staring, and you hear parents, come on, we gotta get you to school. And it seems unusual, but not unexpected.
Shadow Reels is on her way out, so goodbye, Shadow Reels. Sleep well.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and then also we had another follow come in from Entertainment.
Hey, hey.
Welcome, welcome.
Entertainment.
I ate entertainment because
Okay.
it's like I ate entertainment.
That's
Oh.
yeah, that's what
Dig
I
it.
thought too.
Internet names are so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Looks through my list of easy names.
So, Barracks is in front of us.
Barracks is in front of you, and you're just on the south side of the castle. Guards are going in and out, and they're in the golden attire of the upper city. As you approach the barracks, a couple guards stop you. One of them looks at the group. We're not expecting any new recruits. Do you have business with the captain?
Uh-huh.
Might I have names for who's seeking the captain?
The Dragon Slayers.
Oh, are you the bard group who came in the other night?
No.
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 Sorry.
Gracious, no.
Other dragon slayers.
Oh, no, that was just Slayer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Garth Underfoot.
Garth Underfoot, of the Dragon Slayers. Okay. Wait here, please. We don't allow anyone back here unless you're fully trained and equipped.
Of course, of course.
And he hustles off, and the other guy just kind of stands there and looks around awkwardly as if he's not a people person.
Mm-hmm.
He
He only guards rocks.
Yes, basically.
Never guards people.
Basically.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yes?
What does it mean properly equipped to be in the barracks?
You have to have a uniform, and you have to have your badge number visible, because, if you don't have your badge number visible, they send you home without pay.
How do you determine? It's just when you sign up for the guard, you get a badge number.
Oh, when you pass the badge number academy list, it's a crazy thing that we do. We go through all of these trials, and you get on the badge number list, and then when your number is pulled, you're in the guard. So it's both trials and both lottery.
Do you retire the numbers if a guard is really epic in service, so nobody else can be that same number?
Hang a banner with their number on it.
Yeah.
Up in the
so
walls.
like a guard hall of fame.
Oh, I like that. I like my number up there. Guard 8,296.
Oh wow, that's a lot of numbers. Never
They just
mind.
keep going up.
Okay.
That's all. We never reuse numbers because, in logbooks it's much easier to write a couple numbers than a full name like Baron van Hoffensteinen. That's
You're
my-
Baron van
Oh,
Hoffensteinen?
that was my great uncle. He was guard number 7,999.
Well, way to continue the family business.
Mother didn't like it, but how are
What
you
did you
today?
say his number was?
3,296.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I don't get into the logbooks much. They just leave me out here out front to stop people from going in, and he kind of tilts back and forth on his heels.
Why? What's in there?
This is the barracks.
Yes, they live
This is
there.
where the guards are at.
You can't just have anyone go in there, because think if there were some
I'm
villains.
just asking for a visual tour of an explanation.
Have you been into a boy's locker room, miss?
No.
It's kind of gross and stinky.
They lock boys in rooms?
No, it's the room where the boys get ready for sporting events like
Jousting.
jousting, archery,
Mm-hmm.
dragon chasing,
Yes.
whatever it may be.
No.
Well, we've got bunks in there, we've got a small training yard, we've got a few other things that help us stay sharp on the guard. Captain should be out any minute if he's expecting you.
Cool.
First guard returns. Doesn't seem he's looking for you today.
Well, we were trying to talk to him about all these things that have been happening in town, because, see, there was a blue dragon just yesterday that...
Oh, you're the blue dragon slayers.
Yes.
I thought you were the prismatic dragon slayers.
No, we also did that.
We did that,
We
one,
did
too.
that one too.
Double dragon slayers.
Yes.
Some people just call us Slayers,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
not to be mistaken for the Bard group.
Slayer.
Yes.
Right.
Because there's 4 of us.
Yes.
Okay. Do you happen to have any notices or any
Give him the stack of the cards.
Yeah, I'll pull out the stack, and I was like, I was hoping to deliver these directly, though.
I can take them to the captain, and he may see you if we have enough pull here.
All right, so I'll sort through the ones that are from the up, like, because they're a little different, right?
Yeah, there's a golden dragon emblem on the upper city, and then there's a purple like sword or knife emblem on the lower
Okay,
city.
so I'll pull out all the golden dragons. I'm like, that should do it. I tuck the...
Are there more that you have there?
Yes, but these are for the Undercity.
Okay.
We're being fought over. So.
Kind of a hot commodity.
See, we're kind of a big deal. I mean, we killed 2 dragons.
We just really want to help, and we're tired of getting in trouble for it, so we thought maybe if we, told you guys that we're here to help, that you'd let us help.
We do have gods and we do have the militia.
Yeah, well, they weren't.
But we killed the dragons.
Man,
They were there and they didn't do anything.
well, we don't just quite let anyone into our guard. You do have to pass a few tests and a few...
I don't want to be in the guard. Been there, done that. We would like to be...
We just want to make ourselves known to your leadership so that we can be on the same page.
Oh, you're one of those private groups that wants to run security for us for large sums of gold, huh?
Medium sums would do.
We're not really in it for the gold, at least not me personally.
No, more the adventure.
As you're bantering back and forth with this guardsman, and he's kind of shuffling through all the cards that have badge numbers on them, a bell rings out in the city center behind you all, and a town crier is going through. Hear ye, hear ye! An announcement to be made! Both kings now lay dead! And he keeps ringing the bell, and he's yelling it out, the same thing over and over, and walks through.
I would like to run up to the town crier. Is he close enough for that, or is he
He's
like
close
just
about-
using thaumaturgy and
He's
Ringing a
a
bell.
town crier, so
Okay.
he's got some vocal cords.
cool?
He's probably one of the singers for Slayer, but who knows?
Right. Yeah.
Um,
This is a day job.
this is a day job. He's got to make ends meet somehow. But this town crier is moving through the crowd. He's about 150 feet out when you hear him, and he's ringing his bell and yelling out. At this point, he's moved off. You can
Okay.
attempt to follow him in the bell ringing if we want to do a wild crier chase.
I think I would maybe instead I would look back towards the guards that are there, because they would have. I want to look if if they are surprised by this news or if, like, it's just reached the people and the guard had already heard.
It appears that the guard actually hasn't heard. The upper city guard hasn't heard yet. And this is...
The lower city king.
This is the lower city king that had died. So it's not their king. But
Wow.
the two guardsmen that were right there with you look at one another and hustle back inside, and you hear orders barked, and 10, 12, 15 guardsmen come rushing out. A few of them stationed up in front of the castle. There's 4 now in front of the barracks. The guard captain that you seek runs past you without even paying any mind, and he hustles up the approach to the castle. A few guardsmen appear from the edges of the front of the castle, almost as if they now fear that something bad will happen.
Maybe not the time for this then.
Yes. Is the other guard that we had been talking to, does he, like, come back to us at all?
No, he actually kind of rushed past you. You saw as he rushed past that he had all of the stacks of cards just in his vest pocket.
Darn.
And so he does have your notes. As he runs past you, he gives you just like a little friendly wave, and you hear something along the lines of come back or see me in a bit. But no further action from him at that point.
Okay.
Should we follow them?
I don't know.
No. They'll go about whatever they need to do. I think the other things to focus on are either the lady that we did not
Meet.
get to meet, or to venture underneath and see how the lower city is handling things. Maybe.
I think we can go to the lady's house in the Undercity.
It's true.
So we
Might be the way to take.
2 goblins with 1 stone.
Yes. You should know, in this world, goblins are kind of okay.
Are drow also okay?
Yeah.
Have you not been downstairs yet?
Not really.
Oh, you're gonna love it!
As they explain to you these nuances, you realize that your land still operated in somewhat of the old ways, where drow were separate from most any other kingdom, just much like orcs and tiefling, and that kobolds and goblins were nuisances or servants or hunted for fun. But here you do start to recall that you've seen a few goblins bussing tables. You've seen a couple kobolds like in the back of the shop at where you'd gotten your tailoring done. That they seem to be more a commonplace, not full status of like citizen, but more like a helper, an aide, a bit more of an associate instead of a companion.
So does that mean that when I stabbed that orc earlier, was that inappropriate behavior?
Well, he drew a sword. I don't think that was inappropriate, but remember, we've seen people of all different creeds just at that party last night.
Steve.
Yes, remember Steve? I mean, he looked fine. But
Wherever California is.
nobody knows.
Anyways.
Yes, but let's head to the Undercity and see what we can find there. Are there so I know the Stumble On Inn is one of those entrances. But are there kind of like subway station stairs around the city?
Yeah, at every town gate there are stairwells down. So at the town gate you can enter either part of the city.
Gotcha.
There is also, let me grab my map here.
Get close to a town gate.
Not really.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yes, where you're at, you're probably fairly close.
We're at the barracks, so.
There's also a couple rumored areas, much like the Stumble On Inn, that you've heard about, but you're not sure where. Stumble On Inn is like one of the core in-city areas,
Right.
and there's also tons of rumors of multiple passages within the Calmanto estate.
So shall we go to meet Celeste Calmondo?
Yes. I say we do.
Okay.
Do you wish to use the Stumble on In or a town gate? What
What's
is your
closer on the
preference?
map?
The gate.
The gate.
Let's
So-
use the gate.
As you head to the town gate, you do see guards in both purple and gold standing at the gate. And there's this little turnabout where you could go down the steps without like exiting the city. You see people using it to gain passage, but guards are checking others as they enter and exit the city for any contraband. So you don't have to be checked here because you just had to.
We're already in the
Yep.
city.
And as you enter the lower city, it gets dark again for you all. There's a handful of lights at the stairwell as to ease you into the darkness a bit more, so your eyes are able to adjust. You enter the lower city, and you see much a similar setup as you head back towards the city center. There's a large dark rock castle off to the right, almost directly under the castle from above. You see an envoy of a few very highly decorated guardsmen from the lower city and what seems to be a well-decorated official carrying a scroll up past you, and the guardsmen kind of just make sure to clear space, and you hear some murmurs from some of the folks. Oh, that must be the official. The official notice. They're gonna tell the upper city that he is dead. And then a kid goes, I think I just heard that one of the criers went up and was already spreading the news. I don't know, but is that against the law, Mom? And you hear a slight hushing of the child, and the family scuttles off. The city down here is very quiet and somber as their king is now passed. There is more guard presence as you saw before in the upper city. There's a few more guard at the front of the castle, but there's a few more guard walking through town. At this point, the cities are fairly clear of anything but a few traveling merchants and a few people doing their daily shopping.
Very interesting. Well, shall we see if we can find our way towards wherever would be underneath? Miss
Calamanto.
Calamanto.
Should be
Calamanto.
due north of where you're at.
North it is?
North.
Yes.
North.
You travel north and you do see a strange, towering, ornate mansion-like structure. It seems to go floor to ceiling, which is about 40 feet up. And it touches the ceiling at almost all points, but where it doesn't, there's some glowing orbs inset. And then you see these glowing orbs speckling the outsides of this estate. It doesn't have as much yard space around it. It seems to have just a tall metal fence around all edges. It's very flat with some undercity growth, so very dark, ugly ferns to those not used to the undercity. But they're well kept, so one would assume. There's no guardsmen standing outside the gates, but the gates are shut and locked.
Is there a doorbell?
What's a doorbell?
A bell attached to a string near a door.
Oh,
To
yes,
show that
there,
you would
there
like
is one of
entrance.
those. There's a bell near the door with a string. Yes.
Perfect.
Nope. Ding dong. As you ring it, a servant who is sitting on what seems to be the front porch about 30-40 feet out sits up and walks forward. And
I lean over to Lord Draclin. Maybe you should take the lead on this one.
Sure.
an elderly drow man comes up with a slight limp.
Oh, sir.
Hello? Are you here for the estate?
Yes, to speak with Celeste Commando.
Miss Camonto is indisposed as of late, and she wishes to see no visitors at this time, given last night's events with her party.
I know, last night's events were very surprising. We are here to offer aid to her. Trust me, she will want to see us.
Are you one of her suitors?
Who knows?
Well,
Perhaps.
I would think you would know. Sorry.
Yes, I agree with the short one. Are
I have
you or are you
I've not had a conversation with Celeste Calmondo.
Okay. Well,
Trust me,
you might have to come back.
we have an offer that she cannot refuse. If she will have your head if you do not let us through. I promise you that.
It's not the first time I've been assaulted verbally. But what is your offer that I may bring to the mistress?
Well, since we've come into town, the four of us have met and taken 2 dragons on. One was at her party, so to have a dragon appear at your party that we had to take care of is quite embarrassing. I have to say, we were there to help. I understand that with the situation of the king dying, she will need additional support and help to take the throne. If she needs help, we are here to help. That is our offer, that we will help her to take the throne of the city.
All right. Well, what is your lineage if you wish to take the throne?
I'll pull out like a scroll of like my lineage and my family crest and show it to him.
As he peruses it, many names I haven't heard, but this seems quite official. The rest of you, are you wishing to take throne as well?
No,
yeah.
we're just here to help.
All right. Well, let me see if I may get her out here. Sit tight. And he walks away from the gate, hobbles back inside, and closes the big door. And as you're standing out in the street, it's fairly quiet. A figure walks nearby, hood drawn. You see there's some leather armor underneath, but the eyes are glowing red in the hood. And he seems to be pacing about 40, 50 feet out, but kind of keeping an eye on the estate, and especially now, an eye on you folks.
I want to say under my breath just to those in our group, like, so, we're being watched?
At this point, everyone knows he didn't seem to be too stealthy about his presence.
Mm-hmm. I know, but I'm just, like, it's more like, thoughts on being watched? I'm happy to go talk to him.
I'm quite used to being watched, honestly, most of my life. People about keeping tabs on, keeping eyes on. Do you see the red eyes, though?
Yes, that's
A
what
little
intrigued me.
strange.
Astro has turned and is letting out a little "Arr." He's not too keen on...
Astro, quiet.
Is there a race I don't know about that has red glowing eyes? Or is
Can I
this
roll
something magical?
like a history check or something to
Magical
figure
and
out
evil?
if it would be a race thing or if it would be just a magic thing?
Sure, you can do history, you can do arcana, you could do
Arcanic history?
arcanic history.
Well, that's an 18 on the die. These dice, blacksmith craft dice, everybody.
Blacksmith craft dice.
They're rolling just what I need, and it's plus 6 for either arcana
All right.
or history. So that's a 24.
24. We'll do a arcana history combo there
Mhm.
because you think back and you go, there's a few more rare breeds that you've encountered, more demonic.
Yes.
But as you look, there's lack of other traits. No large clawed hands, no tall and slender build. This person does seem to be human, and it does seem to be more of a magical glow about the eyes.
Do they happen to resemble the rough shape of the person that was running away from me at the party? Like, general build size.
The buddy of the dragon man.
General, yeah.
General build. Or, no, the other one. The one that I
She
was
said
chasing.
the buddy.
The buddy.
Oh, the buddy. I heard
buddy,
the body.
yeah.
Buddy.
Interesting.
Buddy
I was just thinking that.
I'm gonna go talk to him.
Okay.
I start walking over.
As you start walking over, the figure stops and just kind of settles in. Doesn't seem to be ready to attack, but ready to speak. And as you approach, you hear, "What is it?"
I was just gonna ask you the same thing. You see, we are on some personal business down here, and happened to notice that you were pacing nearby us. So didn't know if you were after us or the lady.
The orders are for power. And you hear him almost wrestling with himself, and the light in the eyes fades, and a hand goes up and pulls the hood back of himself, and you see that it's Ibrin, and he's like shaking his head. He goes,
I rush over when I see the hood come down.
"Yep, you rush over. All right. You do notice as well, and the doggo is still growling. He kind of like cracks his neck a little bit and goes, "There's something afoot here, and it's setting off something in me." And he kind of blinks, and the eyes glow red briefly, and he closes his eyes and looks down. "Some power or something." And he backs away from you and starts to look like he wants to run as soon as he can like gain vision again.
Ibrin, it's all right. It's us.
Is there magic to undo this? What's happening to him?
Don't know what's happening to him. Ibrin, are you in there, man?
He drops to a knee and he looks up, and his eyes open, and they're bright flaming red as if flames are coming out a bit.
I look into his flaming eyes because I've had some.
You stare into his
I stare into his eyes because I've had encounters with demons before. So I look. Do I see like any remnants of like? I almost want to call something out of him.
Yeah, you see that there's something within him. It's not.
D&D exorcism?
It's not so much demonic, but another force. And as the eyes shine bright, his voice drops again. "Power must be restored to the city at all cost."
Who are you?
They call me the Dragon King.
The Dragon King.
And just as you say the Dragon King back, the eyes close and Ibrin comes back briefly. "I don't know what's happening and why I keep blacking out, but
It's a dragon king. He's controlling your body. Does that mean anything to you?
Just gonna lay it all out there.
wow, a bit, but it's not safe here. I must get out of the lower city." And he stands up and starts to stumble back towards the gate you all had come in. And you see once in a while he stops as he's like stumbling away from you, shakes his head, and then keeps kind of like almost drunk walking towards the gate.
I call to him, we're at the stumble on in, which you're already kind of doing, so if you want to find us, we can help.
We should help him.
Okay.
Maybe the two of us get him up out of here. The other two can wait for Lady Carmondo.
I'll help him.
As you rush over to Ibrin, his eyes glow bright red again, and then he looks at you, and without blinking, the eyes go back to Ibrin's, and he goes briefly, like almost straight-faced, staring into the distance. "I think my heritage is fighting itself." And he takes a big breath and he goes, "I don't think you'll understand, but I'm a child of both cities. And this is a tumultuous point. I've been trying to work without letting the power strike, and he tenses up a bit, and a bit of smoke comes out of his nostrils.
We gotta get him out of here.
Let's get you upstairs. We'll talk there. Who's with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
You two seem like you've got things down here,
I'm
right?
still over at the gate.
Yep.
Still over at the gate. You two rush him upstairs, and as you get away from the lower city and towards the front gate, he becomes a little bit more steadied, and he looks at you both. Where are your friends? It's not safe down there right now. I think the power that is affecting me is trying to take over the city from below.
Oh. Should I go get them?
We'll meet you in the stumble on in.
Perfect.
Upper side.
Well, yes, of course. The lower side's being taken over by evil.
Cool, just make sure we're on the same page.
You're able to get Ibrin to.
Where's this?
Where's Butler, man?
You're able to get Ibrin to the stumble
you're
on in,
still-
and
I'm not.
the bartender comes over and puts a small plate of like bread and water in front of him, and he says not a single word, just kind of in his own mind the whole time. Butler still hasn't returned. The door has been closed, and
Valari, the people here are so rude. Isn't this crazy?
What do you
A
mean?
butler is keeping us waiting after we conquered dragons for them?
Yeah, that's
Is this normal life for you?
yeah.
yeah,
Much.
What a life! Oh my gosh. Okay, at this point, is the gate open or closed?
still closed.
How is it locked?
It seems to be a magical barrier lock on there.
These people.
Can I do an Arcana check? Would that tell me what kind of magic? No.
No, you'd have to do a detect
How
magic.
how high do you think this? How high is the gate?
Gate's about 15 feet.
Okay, I'll use like mage hand and just like kind of swing it through the gate.
As the mage hand hits where you think it would go between the metal bars of the gate, it dissipates into a blue explosion of sparks.
Okay, I'll do it again and I'll go up over the gate and then over.
As you get up and over the gate, you start to get just a little bit over, and again, it dissipates into sparks as if there's a dome of protection that you can't see here.
Some kind of magic protecting it.
A small bat goes flying past it, hits the same thing, and bzzz, disappears into some blue sparks as well.
That gourd would have been helpful if I had that now.
As I accidentally kill a player, and dissipates into.
How long have we been waiting here?
You've been waiting at this point as you hear Garth come running up about 5 minutes.
So, just from my understanding of the world of like,
Yeah.
how long would a butler keep us waiting here? In my realm of understanding.
In your realm of understanding, a butler would keep you waiting there forever if he wanted nothing to do with you, politely telling you to shoo. If he were to need your presence, it may take a moment or two, but not
Not
5-10
long.
minutes.
Yeah.
But it is a big house.
Question on the couch.
Could I get Ibrin to follow me to the kitchen?
No. He's sitting there
Okay. I go up
picking at his food a bit.
Daddy
To the
did
kitchen man.
conversation?
To the kitchen man.
and I say, can I use your stove real fast?
The guy in the kitchen looks at you and kind of puts his hands up and leans back into the kitchen. Are we cooking anything right now? You need to cook something, right? Not like light anything on fire.
Yeah. Totally all culinary related.
We've got another weirdo wanting to make their own food.
I have a lot of dietary restrictions.
Like Steve.
No, this one's not asking about kale. Just wants to use the stove. Okay. And you hear a gruff voice kind of in the back. mumbling a response to that. In the back, there's a old dwarf just kind of leaning up in the back of the kitchen, dressed as one would see like the top chefs to have dressed. The lines are all clean,
Gordon Ramsay style.
basically, but with a big beard.
Cool.
More like Dwarven Ramsay.
He opens an eye to you and goes, huh, and
Don't
closes
mind
his
me.
eye and leans back as if he was just taking a nap between rushes.
Great. So I take my new skillet and I turn on the oven and I step back and I wait.
As soon as you apply heat onto
Yeah.
the stove
Stove.
top,
I don't cook much.
you see that food appears in the pan, and the food that appears is exactly what you were cooked as a child.
I look over to the dwarf like nobody. Okay. I take it and I turn it off and I look for like a hot pad because I don't want to burn their tables. So I grab a cloth and I go back to the table with Ebron. You gotta try this.
He looks up and takes a little huff and kind of looks at it. I'm not feeling it right now.
What was your favorite breakfast as a kid?
There was this meat my father used to hunt.
Do you want it?
Not really. I feel like I'm on fire inside right
Okay.
now.
I didn't know if like memories would help. Go back
So
to your thing.
He picks at his bread a little bit and drinks some water, and he pulls out a little pad and he starts scratching a note or two down on it and puts it back into his pocket and just seems to just be mildly distant. Garth, you're able to catch up to the two at the gate.
Oh, all right. So, here's what is happening. Apparently, the Undercity may have some sort of evil taking over.
Seriously?
That's why the butler's being so rude.
That's probably it. Ebron was saying that we shouldn't stay in the Undercity because that's exactly what was affecting him.
How does he know that it was the Undercity?
He said something about being a child of both. I don't know. I mean, I've got ideas of how that could be
Then
meant.
how do we know that the Upper City won't affect him?
Well, once we started getting towards the top, he started calming down. But that's the point he told me. I should probably get you all out of here. Just until we have our wits about us.
Well, not doing anything here, so...
I mean, yeah.
All right, then. Ori was aiming for the stumble on in, so we can just go to the upper side there.
Sure.
Alright.
You make your way to the Stumble On Inn, enter the doors, and head upstairs to find Ari. And at this point, we're taking a quick break.
Break time!
Alrighty, the players and I will be back in roughly 10 minutes. Go get yourself some snacks, some drinks, wash your hands, stay safe for the next 10 minutes or so. Don't go outside.
Don't. Just. I mean, maybe.
I mean, maybe go outside.
if you
I
have a
mean,
backyard,
yeah, yeah.
that would be
Fresh air
nice.
is good. Mental
Fresh air is
health is good.
Mm-hmm. Do some push-ups.
Mental health.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. And with that, listen for our roughly 53-second tune. It should be a bit louder than the music you hear that we'll be playing. It will be our tune, so in case an advertisement or two runs during our break, that's not us.
That's not us.
That's not us coming back.
No.
It might be us running some ads, but whatever. No fun cutscene stuff. We'll just be back in about 10 minutes.
Bye.
Bye. Welcome back to the Stumble On In. We are the Here Be Dragons crew. Before we hop back into the story, we want to remind everyone what we're doing today. All of the tips and donations that you give us, as well as $5 for every subscription, are being donated to the LA Food Bank. Mm-hmm. So we're doing that because, well, food's important, people are important, and we love telling our stories, and we love sharing the fun that all the donations and tips do, and giving back to our community is just a little perk for that. So if you have your Prime subscription and you haven't used it, that's $5. If you have $5 you want to give us, that gets passed along in full extent. So we will cover any of the little change fees that PayPal and others take from that, as our part of also chipping in, as well as making sure that we give $5 full for every subscription. So we are here and happy to be here, and we hope that you guys enjoy our story. But we want to talk a little bit too about how we got here. We have some great sponsors, as well as some people who kicked in for our Indiegogo. The set here is provided by everyone who watches, but all of the other stuff that we do for giveaways and for fun little collaborations on our Instagram are with Caffeinated Cobalt, Blacksmith Craft Dice, and Critical Treasures. You can find the links in the chat. Just a little bit ago, Nathan made sure to have our bot spam those. And then there's links below. But take a look at all of them, because especially, actually all of them, they're releasing new product constantly.
Yeah,
Bean
great
Holders,
swag.
Bean Holders Brew is new from Caffeinated Cobalt. Hey, thank you for the sub.
Absolutely.
I ain't entertainment.
Hey, woo, a new follower, a new sub. Thank you for that. We will pass that gift along.
Thanks.
But like I was saying, all of our sponsors have some great stuff that they've come out with. Bean Holders Brew from Caffeinated Cobalt. I can't name all of the permutations of bags and sizes and shapes and gadgets that Critical Treasures does, but
And trays now.
Trays now. She's got a whole line of things. And then Nathan's holding up some Blacksmith Craft dice here. They are really, really awesome metal dice.
So good.
They feel great in the hand. They
love
roll
them.
really well.
They just got their 1,000th review on Amazon.
1,000 reviewers, meaning
5 stars.
more purchasers than reviewers. So they're doing great, and they're releasing more colors all the time. Currently, they have a couple different runs. One's with
I got the
a
rose
single D6, and one's with multiple D6, and the rest of the dice that go with. So take a look at them.
Ian.
Yeah! Hi.
See, I knew that was
okay,
Ian.
Yep, we good.
Perfect. So take a look at them. They
Fiat
do help
days.
out in giving you guys some cool stuff. So also keep an eye on our Instagram, as well as all of our sponsors' Instagrams, because we will be doing some giveaways in the near term. We're working out timing on those for quite a few things that are going on. So again, today, if you do any of the tips and donations, those go to a great cause. Nathan, what do you want to say?
I just realized we haven't said this yet.
Yeah.
Happy Pie Day.
It is Happy Pie
It's
Day.
Pie Day.
It is
And we
Pie
haven't
Day.
we haven't even acknowledged Pie Day.
The problem is it's a very terrible Pie Day, because it goes 3.14.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of it?
2015
2015
was the year.
You're never supposed to type in the digits for pi, because it limits your significant
Well,
figures,
yes,
and it's
obviously. You're just going to hit the Pie
My
button.
figure is very significant.
But for the
Hashtag no math and science from this one today.
hashtag bad jokes get you ejected from the couch. So when
I threatened Alex and then realized I was not the person.
when all of us are gone, it's because we're just full of bad jokes, dad
Yep.
jokes, and things that probably shouldn't be
We
jokes.
changed it to Here Be Dad Jokes.
Here be dad jokes. Yeah.
D&D.
Well,
Bye.
why?
I said bye.
Oh, bye. Okay. Again, but with that, fun stuff that happens when you interact through like subs, tips, etc. You can become the new hype boss below.
Hype boss.
Yeah.
We had some hype boss exchanges
We
at
got
the beginning of
two-
the show.
2 nat 20s.
And we got 2 nat 20s. One still waiting to be used against Garth.
Yep.
At the request of the person who secured it.
Yeah.
So if you do end up being that person, it becomes the new hype boss a nat 20 is coming to one of us. Just let us know who.
One of us.
With that,
Sorry.
we're back to the actual Stumble on Inn in-game.
Mm-hmm.
Ebrin picking out his food in the upper portion of the Stumble on Inn, with Ari sitting next to him, downing a nostalgic breakfast that you realize now that you've used the pan. This is a pan of nostalgia. It allows you to apply heat and once per day cook the breakfast that you grew up eating. It brings back the fondest memories as if someone's mother had cooked it for them, or man or maid servant, depending on who it is.
Does it have bludgeoning damage detail?
You can use it for 1d4 makeshift, but because it's a big pan, I'd allow 1d6.
Okay.
So it's 1d6 of bludgeoning if you want to use it, but you might lose your enchantment or enchant someone's face with it, so we'll see. But
Their face creates the food of your nostalgia.
But you
Their face smells like eggs.
oh,
you hit a tiefling who uses hellish rebuke, and then
Comes
the
out.
fire food is
food just sprays everywhere out of it. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I love making those things happen, so
Amazing. Okay.
just don't hit Valare. That wouldn't be fun.
Oh, no.
That would backfire.
Yeah, that might backfire for all of you.
Yep.
Or there could be a unicorn. You never know.
Death or unicorns, one of the two, not sure. But
By unicorn.
as she, ouch, death by unicorn. As she's downing her delightful breakfast, the rest of the group is making their way through the lower portion of the Stumble on Inn. As they get to the stairwell, two hushed voices come from the other side of the small doorway that leads up, and you hear, "Are they making any moves? It seems like they're doing that upstairs." And then another voice. "I think there's some moves happening down here too. I can't quite be sure if they're going to try to use the tunnels or if they're going to come up above land, but it seems like the militia and the guard are both coming together." And the voices kind of hush, hearing some footsteps coming close. And you hear, "Long live the kingdoms," from both at the same time. And as you go to step around the corner, a cloaked, very armored person comes pushing out, and as he pushes past you, you notice a flash of purple adornment. And stepping into the stairwell, you notice a flash of golden orange adornment under the other cloak. Seems as if maybe guardsmen were meeting. But they brush past and get out of the way very quickly and leave you to your travel through the stairwell.
That's interesting. Tunnels and why would the guard and the militia be coming together?
It's a coup.
A coup.
Off the couch!
Sorry, I said
That was
bless
it.
you.
You used up. You used them all up.
That was it. You're done.
Interesting. I wish I knew more about this city. I wonder if there's a library. Anyways, let's get upstairs. Hopefully Ari made it back all right.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Craig, son of Horus, joining us,
It is a couch.
saying, "Look at that couch."
It is a couch.
Craig, son of Horus, loves a good couch.
And a good Lego, so I hear.
It's a good couch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was affordable.
That was affordable.
Alright, so you're heading up the stairs to Ari,
Yes.
sitting with the very distant Ebrin.
Hmm.
There's no one else in the inn at this point, as it's mid-morning, between breakfast and lunchtime, very quiet.
I thought you said he was better.
His
Look.
eyes aren't red.
There's that.
Yeah, but now he's like, oh man. Downstairs he was actually like
Okay,
Doing
coming
stuff.
from someone who also has moody swings, I think he's doing just fine.
Moody swings?
I run 30 feet away.
The pocket watch starts to buzz.
I need clarification on what these moody swings
The
are.
pocket watch buzzes harder.
I'll look at the pocket watch.
It's got a smoky twirl across it. Please roll.
Oh, right, I
your
forgot
wild
I had to
magic
do that part.
Table.
Yeah. I was like,
What is it?
she's not saying anything. 97.
97.
That's a high number. That can't be good.
I feel like most of these things end up changing me, not
Yeah,
you.
that's very true.
So what do I see?
You see a flame twirl and kind of encompass the whole of the screen and then disappear, and it goes back to the fog.
Were you gonna respond?
No, I think you know what I meant.
No, I really didn't. I'll dismiss it for now.
You'll dismiss it. It will come back at some point.
Oh my. That's not good.
Wild magic.
One of these days, it's gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Almost already has.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
All
Twice.
right. Yeah.
Oh, this is the fellow from the party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ebrin, Lord Dracklin. Lord
Ebrin.
Ebrin.
Ebrin. How are you feeling, Ebrin?
He stares down at the plate and slowly turns up and looks at you as if there's a war going on inside of me.
How emo.
I was literally just thinking those words.
He stares down.
It's an abbreviation for emotional.
Mm.
All the kids are saying it.
Mm.
Or at least they were 10 years ago.
Ebrin.
Tried 15 years ago.
Well, folks, there seems to be some sort of I don't know. The city is in turmoil. Two kings dead.
Way before their time, at least one of them. He said that he's a child of two cities.
So
And-
he's a descendant of.
Yeah.
Besides,
What does Ebrin look like?
He's a mid-30s, really rough and tumble build, human male, heavy stubble, scar across his face. His hair is messy and tossed back, kind of pulled back in a light ponytail. It's very short. He wears leather armor that looks like it's seen many battles. His cloak is fairly well worn. You can see under his cloak a little bit that he carries a handful of blades. And on his arms he's got some scarring as if he'd been in some battles. So he seems to have seen it all.
When you look at him, does he look like he's not doing great?
It looks as if
If he went to the grocery store right now, would people...
Avoid him.
no, it looks more like as you'd see with such a figure, the way he is built, what he is wearing, that he should be a bit more stoic. But right now he seems mildly slumped and disconnected. That actually shows that he's in a bit of pain or thought, more than one would expect. But he doesn't show it in such a way where it's like, oh man, that guy's hurting. He's just, for his stature, he's just not who you'd expect him to be.
Got it.
Ebrin, who is the Dragon King? He was saying something about the Dragon King.
yes, I remember.
Well, the city was forged by two families. The Dragon King was the crest of the family that had forged the upper city. The lower city is the blades, and with that they came in all shapes and sizes, both families, and it, almost as if it wasn't a bloodline, but more of a ritual or something. They carried a power about them, and they're both drawn together and pushed apart. And so, tale says that years and years ago, they had to form the cities with one another, but split by some land. And I don't quite understand it all, but it seems that whatever this power is, it's being awoken and it's within me. My great-great-grandparents were a king and a queen of these lines, one from the upper city and one from the lower city, and yeah, it went into turmoil after my birth, and I was hustled away as I shouldn't have been born.
But you never mind.
There's no stupid question, Ari, really. We're trying to find answers here. What do you have to say?
Were you a bastard child, or were they
Oh.
kingdoms united?
Well, the kingdoms carried on, but my branch of the family tree was treated quite differently. They first put us in that mansion, and then they ejected my grandparents into the city streets. We had been taken as commoners for many years, and I grew up on the street in a different city, in a different town every couple of years. My father died in battle as he had fought in another town in their civil war.
You used to live in the Calmando mansion.
Oh no, not me personally, but
Your family.
family did. Yes.
Why were you in jail in Greenmar?
Right?
That I can't remember. There was something that I had to warn or tell someone in Greenmar about, but
Maybe about the really bad elf dude
I'm not
killing
sure.
the treants? No? Okay.
Not
It's fine.
sure,
That
no.
was so last season.
He picks at his bread a little bit more.
Interesting. I almost wonder if they put you there on purpose. A prison that wipes people's
I
memories.
say they must have known about that.
Have you had coffee?
It doesn't affect me well.
If he's got mental stuff going on, it's probably not a good idea to give that to him right now.
Last time I
Works for
had
me.
coffee, I blacked out and woke up in a different part of the city.
Was it coffee spiked with something?
I think it awoke the inner rage that I might have expressed with you.
Yes.
You call it a rage now?
Just water. Just water.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. Who would have answers?
What does the rage want?
Power?
It doesn't just speak directly to me.
But you obviously feel it.
You
You
were
probably
it,
feel the
but
desire of it.
I feel disconnected or blacked out. It feels like a dream when I'm out. I don't hear the words, but I feel the presence when...
Ooh, what if we tie him down and then just pour coffee down his gut?
I actually was just thinking that.
I was thinking that too.
Oh, jeez.
Even would you mind? Terribly for science.
I don't...
Let's call it a social
I don't
experiment.
quite
Okay.
like what happens when I'm out.
It's okay. We're here. We'll make sure nothing bad happens.
You can't say that and then smile like that, Larry.
I didn't do anything.
This smile is.
No, I understand.
He grabs a pint of beer off of a tray going past from one of the servers, and the server kind of looks, and he's got it half gone before the server really fully notices what happened.
I reached to grab rope out of my bag and
Beer, what? Not coffee, beer.
He chugs it down and sits there and
I'm
takes a
ready.
breath, and he looks at all of you and sees the tension in Ari's stance there. It's just beer to calm me down a bit.
Cool.
I really do think that we should tie him down and give him some coffee and talk to this Dragon King.
It would give us some answers that no one else will do. We are here to help.
Very torn.
Are here to waterboard some help out of you.
Oh, waterboard him. He wouldn't even know it's
It
happening.
was me coffee boarding.
Ooh, even better. We'll just juice you up and tie you down and hope you don't.
Wait, what?
This sounds so bad. It's for your own.
We're not gonna force him to drink it unless he allows us to.
Yes.
We did ask.
We gave him a chance to say yes.
Do you have another thought?
I don't quite know what happens to me when I succumb to this thing.
That's
Your
why-
eyes turn fiery.
That's why
and
we're
you
trying to
talk
help you.
That's why we gotta
Bright
find
red.
out.
Deep
Well,
voice.
I don't know what happens to me
Bro,
and what will happen to you.
bro. We
That's
helped you
true.
before.
Bro!
Someone hung out with Steve too much?
I was wondering what she
sounded-
was.
It sounded interesting. I wanted to try it. Now I know.
What's the happy haps there, man? Did he say that too? I heard that
No.
somewhere at the party.
We
I don't
We've-
think I've ever heard that.
we've taken on 2 dragons in like a week.
Oh yeah.
I think
In a day.
I
Yeah,
think-
one in the morning, one in the night. It was 2 in one day.
Double Dragon Day, that's what we call it.
Deuces. I heard Steve say that too.
Wow,
Does that make
Valari
sense?
just picked up all of
Does that make
Steve's
sense?
Well, when you
things.
do it like that, I wonder if it means almost like two something.
That's what I thought. That's why.
just for those who missed the last episode, Steve is our buddy who came
Well, I wouldn't quite
through a
say.
portal from a land called California with a weird mirror. And
It threw us off for a
He-
long time.
He had a few friends with, and there was a shiny little mirror device that was being tapped a bit,
yeah.
asking for signal or something. I don't know. It was weird. But he sits there and he's very, very nervous about what could happen.
Can
not
I-
to him, but to the rest of you.
Can I want to say please, and can I roll persuasion?
Sure.
I've also had another idea, but I'll let you roll your persuasion.
I'll let.
Yeah, no, he ain't being persuaded.
It was the creepiest
I rolled
smile.
a 5.
You say please and you grin almost too big and you show a little bit of a fang on either side
Oh, both of them.
And-
Okay. I thought it was only gonna be one. I was like, that is weird.
and he looks at you and it almost seems like you're threatening, like please.
No. I've had this other idea. I start going through my bag. I'm like, remember when I got this from TikTok? And I hold out this candle. I'm like, this is a candle of truth. All we need to do is find someone who would have the answers.
But how?
I light the candle. They tell the truth.
Yeah, but the finding them is gonna be the tricky part.
And the
'cause
getting
people
to
lie
them.
about even knowing anything.
Could just walk around with a candle for an hour.
But then we won't have it if we ever need it again.
True.
But I mean, you could just buy another one.
What else? Would you mind if I looked at your map as we think through things?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I haven't fully gotten a lay of the
Timber.
land yet. I'm just seeing if anything sparks anything.
The ground begins to shake a little bit, as if an earthquake, and it stops almost as quickly as it started. A little rumble, and you notice you notice the barkeep look around a little bit, and then just keep going back to work. It didn't seem to startle him much.
I look over at him. That normal?
Not quite. It happens every couple years.
Normally after a king's died?
Well, all kings don't die every couple years,
Yes.
usually.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Math.
We're new here. I don't know
Math
how long
is
these
hard.
guys have been here.
Ebrin.
So this isn't Game of Thrones.
Ebrin.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
So, we were pursuing a lead in the Undercity, and you're following us. You have a reaction. We follow you up here, but I don't know if we know what we're supposed to do now, and I don't hear you helping us.
I'm not sure I have the answers, but all I know.
What if the Dragon King does?
Whoa! Whoa!
What if the Dragon King does have the answers?
The Dragon King may have answers, but will he stay?
Can we go back to the Undercity?
I'm not stopping you. It's me who.
No,
He's
we
tormented.
with you.
What if we went back to the Calamanto residence on the upper side?
Not sure what we'll find, but we can look. We can look.
You know,
Did you know what the dragon people were at the party last night? The people that then turned into Prism Dragon?
yes, of course, Ibrin, we didn't even ask you. Did you ever catch up with that man who ran from the party?
I couldn't end up finding him. I think I was overtaken last night. The presence is strong, especially after the man changed into a dragon.
Can I roll an insight check?
Uh-huh.
Had you seen anything like that before? It seemed like you knew what was going to happen.
I vaguely recall as if a dream seeing it before.
Just an 8.
Just an 8. You believe he's telling the truth, but you might still feel a little skeptical on it too.
You need to sleep more.
Alright.
You know, looking at this map, it is very interesting. For it has a layout of the city, the castle, the school, the barracks, the shops, which, remember, we have to go and check out a couple because there are some interesting ones. But anyway, there is a church. Churches usually have well-kept records. And it's just good to know where a cleric is nearby, you know, just in case. There's also very interesting symbols. A sort of swirl here on what might be in... Do I remember walking into the city? Was there like a body of water nearby?
We were down here though. We were really far.
There's a body of water, I believe, to the southwest.
Body of water?
Yeah, body of water right there with a little island on it. Yep.
So in the park, it almost looks like there's a swirl here and then a swirl there. I wonder if that's a portal, and not there being so many different magical things happening with the portals.
I like parks.
And then, of course, over here in the water, it just says monster, portal, which is very interesting and intriguing. And
I think we should go to the park.
Hey, it's something. Ebrin, you cool at the park?
unless even should
Sure.
Green grassy area.
Yes, but alright. Please don't tie me down and pour coffee down my throat there.
No, if anywhere, we would do that in private where no one could see it.
Yikes.
In
You're
case anything
scary.
awful happened.
You are a scary one.
No. That came out wrong. The only reason we wouldn't want anyone to see it is if you did anything, we
All
wouldn't
right.
want you to be
I
guilty.
kind of like usher Garth to the door to start heading to the park.
All right.
Ebrin gets up behind the group and he carefully sets down a couple silver and walks out and nods to the bartender and carries on just a few feet behind all of you, heading west towards the park. As you enter the park, it's fairly quiet. There's a bench in the center that is on a little bit of a mound. It seems that there's a few spots that are a bit more worn in the grass where children had played or small creatures had run around. Astro goes running and jumps into the grass and rolls around in it and is 100% a puppy in one of these worn spots and just bounces around and chases a couple little things in the grass. There's no one in the park at this point. Nothing seemingly out of the ordinary. A few small saplings grow near the center as if they just replanted some of the park here.
Interesting.
Where was the squiggle on the map?
It was near the park.
It's like in the middle of the park.
You know what? Give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
I start casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
All right. In those 10 minutes, a couple comes in and they sit at one of the edges of the park and lay out a blanket and pull out a couple books, and they're sitting in the sun reading books together. A couple kids kind of run through and look around and start playing a game at another edge, and you see a mother come running in and yelling at them something about skipping school again and drags them off. And 10 minutes later, if there's anything the rest of you want to do during this time.
I'm practicing my sword forms. Sword fighting.
Are you going to join in? I would assume the fighter just hops right into that. Perfect. Valari, anything you want to do?
Oh, cool.
I probably try to, I don't know, do something with Astro.
He picks up a stick
Look around,
and
like-
starts running around with it.
Okay.
So you can take a few minutes to try and teach him some fetch.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, you do see the bench glows. And as you see that the bench glows above it, it actually glows like there's an invisible portal. As you detect the magic that has passed through, you see wisps going in and out of this portal that now to your eye seems clear as day, like there is a portal here. Floating just above the
Interesting.
bench.
Right there. And hi, Duchess of Dinos. Welcome. Right there. There is a portal. I can see it.
The portal floats to Garth about 6 feet from the top of the bench, so something that no one would ever just like step into, but with a nice little leap or a lift of a friend could make it in.
Should we try it?
The rest of you don't see it.
It's very interesting. I wonder, Ibrin, as you tracked the person last night, I know you were hazy. Did you happen to come towards the park?
I may have. We did fly to the south.
This might have been a quick escape.
Want to see where it goes?
I do.
It's possible. It's possible that the murderer made it to the park knowing about the portal and went through it so as not to go through the gates anymore after the lockdown.
Smart.
What do you want to go through the portal?
Yes.
Here.
Let's just both pick him up
Yep.
and just chuck him.
You toss him up over the bench.
We have no idea where the portal is.
I need
He pointed.
both of you to make a strength check to make sure he doesn't just go flying in a random direction. What, a 1?
Leave it to Ari.
Good thing I rolled great. I rolled a 2.
Have +4 strength.
I rolled a 2 minus 1.
You get tossed basically right at the bench.
As I see my trajectory not going towards it,
Yep.
featherfall. Y'all are lucky I prepared that one.
You slow to a stop right before you hit the bench and kind of land on it in a nice little like laying pattern.
So where
Sorry.
is the portal?
It's not the bench.
It's above the bench!
Should we try it again?
No! No!
Just go throw him.
No!
How far up is it?
It's about 6 feet above us! Stop throwing me!
Do you want to climb on my
No, we
shoulders?
forcibly throw him.
You don't!
I'll make a check for it.
If we're gonna do that, we're gonna need essentially a strength on strength check.
No, here's the thing: as they start coming, as he starts walking toward me, I'm running away.
I see the look in Garth's eyes. I'm backing
I'm
up.
moving away from him.
Astro gets into
I don't
this
think I
mess and
can
starts
throw
just
on my own.
running the laps with you all in the
We're
park.
around the bench. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
The couple who was reading books together hastily grabbed their blanket and hustle off.
Now, if we could just go up.
I'm like 5.5 feet tall. If it's only 6 feet, you could climb into
Yes.
it.
That
You'd
would
probably fall in head
Alright.
first, but I mean, it's better than being.
Can I use some athletics to like leap and bounce off the bench and try to throw myself in?
Like to slam dunk it? Or
Yeah.
Sure.
Into a portal that she cannot
It's right
see.
there.
Okay, so I eyeball. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Let's see here. I will pull this up.
Penguin
Jumping
Witch
has
Doctor.
a different mechanic to it. Is Penguin Witch Doctor here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
calling that we should through Garth, but I think they moved.
I think he's like,
They
yeah.
already
I instead will throw
did.
myself.
Welcome to.
Oh, I'm gonna do it for sure.
That's
I'm doing
right.
it. That's a nat 20
A nat
plus
20.
7. I would like you to
Um,
explain how epically I leap through this portal.
I will
please.
allow that to happen because you have enough jump for it.
Okay.
You back up and you take a little bit of a running start, and as you jump towards the bench, you get your boot just on the first few wood slats and feel them kind of depress a little bit, and with a little bit of a force of the knee, you feel them spring up under you, and you jump up, and you kind of turn and wave,
Boing.
hoping to hit the portal and make it epic, and you seem to be going, and then as you're waving, you realize the grass you're staring at no longer has the people you were waving at, but now has water behind where the street was, and you land kind of on your back and slide, and you see a bench right where you jumped off, but you look around and you see you're on a very similar plot of land as the park, and up to your left you see the wall of the city.
Anybody around?
No, it's fairly deserted. There's a little shack just a little ways away from the bench.
I'm gonna go explore the shack.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Did she disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
the rest of
But,
you,
like, I have-
you
she's
see her
somewhere else.
waving, and then she just kind of.
The second she
You
disappears,
cut
I'm
back
gonna
to that.
attempt to just go leap it through it.
Perfect. Just roll me a strength on that one for athletics.
18 minus 17.
Perfect. You do very much the same, but with grace, you just jump up through and you get like a tuck roll as if you're preparing that it might not happen, and you're gonna land on the other side of this bench. And you do, and you drop, but in front of you, as you finish the tuck, you see that Ari's there, and you kind of drop right at her feet. And she's like turning around and sitting up and notices the castle at that point. You two.
Can I climb up on your shoulders?
Put on a belt and mage.
Yeah.
Yes, I am! Wait, I'm doing that one! I do that one! Wait! Watch what I thought of! I take out the belt that she gave me. I put on the belt. I cinch it to my waist.
The belt shrinks you down to half your size, eighth your weight, I believe?
Yes.
Something like that.
So now I am definitely under 10 pounds. I cast Mage Hand. And I use it to pick me up. Actually, no. I want to, like, use it, because I would assume
Magic carpet style.
yeah, I'm going to use it magic carpet style. I'm going to step onto the Mage Hand, and, like, the two fingers are going to close around my legs. So it almost looks like I'm Spider-Man's hand flying around now.
That's one big mage hand. But
Yeah.
we'll let it happen.
Well, I'm smaller, and I
It's light
figure
enough.
it would be the same size as usual.
Perfect.
So now I'm like, come on, Valari, and I fly this
the
mage
pinky and the
hand.
index finger,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yeah. Come on, and I fly
Is
the
it
mage
major
hand.
concentration?
I'm concentrating on it.
It's
But
not.
you're gonna go through a portal.
Mage hand's not
Won't that
concentration, I
affect
don't
it?
think.
No. Mage hand
As long as it gets him
is
to the
not concentration.
Oh, it's not.
So you blast your way up and you go through the portal and you notice that
That's
as
cool.
you fly up over the bench that you see off to your left that it seems a little hut has appeared, and now you're about to fly into the back of Dracklin's head.
Veer,
Do you see that blurry thing? Should I shoot it down?
it's me.
Oh!
Oh.
Why didn't we think of that in the first place?
I look around and I'm like,
It's you and Ebrin.
Astro is standing next to you,
I know,
wagging
I
his
know.
tail, bouncing.
but what am I supposed to do about Ebrin? They didn't say anything about him.
He can get himself. He's
He's
a BA rogue.
I look at Ebrin and I'm like, I don't know. I guess you can come if you want or not.
I'll be on this bench. You can find me here.
Oh, okay.
Just.
And
And he sits down. He looks up and goes, "Careful on re-entry."
yeah. So I'm gonna try something.
Okay.
I'm gonna pet Astro and grab him and say, "Can you get us up there through the thing?"
He like in your hand. You've got him by his scruff right now, and you
Yeah.
picked him up, and he's like kind of swimming in the air, and he starts glowing blue, and then you see a zap of him go out of your hand into the
Crap.
portal, and then on the other side, a pup just kind of drops, and he's looking around, and he sees others that he knows, and he sits down and just kind of looks up and wags his tail.
Crap. No, cause that.
Do you need a hand? I can give you a lift.
Sure. I think that's safer than jumping and failing.
So he puts his hands out, and he's just kind of got one foot on the ground, one foot on the bench.
So I'll just like jump
and
off
he
his
just-
hand.
He just gives one of your feet a lift, and as you reach up and hope to touch where the rest of the group disappeared to, you feel his hand disappear out from under you, and you kind of drop and are standing on the bench,
Oh, perfect.
staring at everyone else.
Oh, perfect. I only dropped like 2 feet, not 6.
Giving you a hand.
So she's appeared now.
Yeah, she's appeared standing on the bench.
Where are we?
I don't know, but there's a cabin. Come on.
But Ebron's gonna wait on the bench, you guys.
Probably best.
Yes,
It was awkward.
He's kind
He's
of.
had a long day.
He seems emotionally disconnected from the world a little bit.
Yes, we all.
the...
I walk to the cabin.
What now? Hold up.
Carefully. I carefully walk.
Stop. All right,
I stop. I stop.
What? Think. Look for clues first. If someone did come through this portal as their means of escape, they may have left tracks. Especially if they're the only person here.
I kind of want to see the shack too, though.
Can we at least see if there is one set of tracks coming from the portal area that is not the tracks that we've already established?
Yes, let's be reasonable here. The shack is the most important thing.
Yes. I will roll survival. Would that find footprints? What would?
Yes.
Investigation,
I start walking to the
survival,
shack.
Yeah.
I mean, as I walk.
Investigation.
carefully, I will roll survival just to see. Come on, Astro.
Oh!
Second nat 20 in a row.
I got 16 on investigation.
I have 24 total.
You
I would like to know
notice-
everything that crosses.
You noticed that the grass had been lightly worn, but not in the near past. It seems that this has been a spot that isn't frequented very often, and as you look around, you also understand that you are sitting on a little island in the middle of the lake. There's no boats around, and there doesn't seem to be
Wait, we're in
any...
the middle of the lake?
Yeah, you're in the middle of a little lake.
Island
Guys, we're
outside
on
the
the
city.
island.
Yeah.
We're outside the city.
Yes.
You see the
That's
city
the
wall
castle.
and the main road leading into the
Well,
town.
jeez, you
Interesting.
didn't have to be so...
No. That means that what my
Could've been right.
yes, my
Is,
prediction.
But
is your voice like 8 times higher than usual?
Now that he says you're tiny,
Very
that's
little.
right.
Because you're tiny and floating on a mage hand.
I think that was right.
Hovering on the mage hand.
That's right. Yeah,
And
I'm
imagine
not
you're
leaving.
like
I'm
you're
not
like
leaving any
grabbing
footprints.
her arm like, no, listen to me, and it's like can't feel anything.
It's just like a little pinch and like, come on,
There's so many bugs here.
it's me.
I'm actually gonna.
Eat yourself.
Well, actually, I'm gonna do this. Lord Draklin is going to cast Mage Hand as well,
Mm-hmm.
and going to like kind of come up next to you on the Mage Hand. Like,
Mage hand race.
He just sees me like grab the pinky and go, and he just hears me go.
Oh my gosh. So there are no
We
new
should
tracks.
get to
Is that what I'm
business.
hearing?
Yeah, there are no like fresh tracks in the
Right.
grass.
I
The
don't
grass
see tracks.
is-
I'm going to the cabin.
I'm at the shack thing. What do I see?
The shack has a rusty lock on the front.
Okay.
It's no bigger than 3 foot by 3 foot. Like it's just a little storage cabin, seemingly like a little garden
shed.
cabin.
Can
Yeah,
I
It's a
pick
shed.
the lock?
Yeah, cool.
little tiny shed.
Can I pick the lock?
Garden shed.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a 17.
17.
Yeah.
You go to pick the lock, and as you insert the lockpick tools, the lock kind of crumbles around
Oh,
the
my
tools, and
goodness.
you wiggle them a little bit, and before you even apply a twist, you feel the internal workings just kind of fall apart, and this lock kind of just dangles.
Okay. Well, that was easy.
I'm gonna look in the shack.
Inside the shack, there's a couple old gardening tools. There's a little bench just into the right. On the bench, there's a couple papers that just kind of outline taking care of the grounds, that outline making sure the beast stays asleep,
The beast.
and talk about the food. And it looks like there's various meats that need to be tossed into the water every 6 to 12 days.
I'm gonna take those papers, but I also want to do like an Arcana check. Is that okay?
Sure. What are you looking to
I
do?
don't- see if there's any. Never mind.
Detect magic?
I don't have detect magic.
Arcana is to understand magical properties, history,
When I did that
etc.
earlier, you said I wouldn't. Okay. Okay. Guys, there's a beast in the water.
What?
As you had picked up the papers, under them is a small copper coin and a little wand-like stick.
Ooh, I'm gonna grab those too.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna go back out. So the shack's not important, right? There's papers about a beast that needs to be taken care of, and then there's like a wand and a coin. So
Does the paper say what to do with the wand and coin?
No, it just
There's
says.
no mention of
It just
wand or
says
coin.
how to basically keep the beast calm and what meats to give it and or to throw in the water.
That's such an old and rusted lock. It would almost imply that nobody's been here for a while.
Mhm.
Which means we have an angry beast on our hands.
Or a starved one.
So angry.
Like starved, dead, starved.
Can I see the map?
What map?
Your
map.
map.
Your map of. I mean. jeez.
What map? I
If
need
only
you
there
to...
was some way I could just make copies for all you guys and
Oh,
everyone.
monster.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
That
remember
makes
reading the
sense.
word monster.
I thought it meant monster portal, like a really big portal.
No.
No, it's like monster question mark portal. So like
Ooh, punctuation.
they like maybe there's a monster here. Maybe there's a portal, but
I wonder if that could be the cause of the tremor that we felt.
Could be.
Perhaps they
what
lower
if it's
King was doing something with the monster, and now that he's gone, it's
Yes, if there is
Angry?
a lake, that means there is certain depth near the town itself. If a monster somehow burrows its way down far enough into the earth, it would wind up next to and into the lower city.
But if it lives in a lake, it would need water.
Yeah.
Yes, but it doesn't know that if it burrows further down that there wouldn't be more water. It does not know that it would go into a city.
But if the city was flooded, we would have heard about it.
I mean,
I'm just
Right.
saying the tremors could be it getting closer to.
Do we want to throw some meat in the water, see what happens?
Well, where is this meat
do
that
you
they
have
speak
any
of?
meat?
Was there not any in the... I wasn't in the shed.
No, there wasn't anything. Just some gardening tools.
Anybody enjoy a meat breakfast as a child? Oh, never mind.
can only do it once.
Yeah.
I would like to steer my mage hand and fly it up so I can get a better view of the island as a whole to see if there's any other shacks or any other signs of life.
Yeah, as you steer up, you realize the island, just about the same size as the park, is at most 100 feet edge to edge. It's on a mound as well, with the one shack, the one bench. Very, very similar, identical shape to the park.
Interesting.
But there's nothing else. But you do notice the water seems far deeper than the small lake pond thing that it's in. This isn't a very huge lake. You probably have 50 feet of water on any side of the island. In distance from edge to edge.
So from edge to edge, it's not very large, but it's very deep.
It seems far deeper. It's dark water.
This is. I fly back down. This the island's no bigger than the park, but the water is very deep. Deeper than the size of the circumference would imply.
I'm not getting in it.
No, I don't think anyone.
I mean, I would, but
Chad
My
has
clothes
suggested
will
that
get
the island
messed up.
is the monster. Bum bum bum.
Yes, I don't think any of us can breathe in water, and I don't think that we should necessarily venture near the edge.
Okay, if this is a dead end, we can always go back through the portal.
Yes, I wouldn't.
I'm gonna go back and just do another once over in the shack, just to make sure that we got everything that was in there.
Yeah, as you peek through the shack, it's a bunch of rusty tools. You do see the little desk-like space that had papers, and you see that the papers had been moved, the dust had been disturbed there, but you don't notice anything else left behind that is of any value.
Very interesting. I want to fly to the north edge of the island. Oh, this is risky.
Towards the town?
Towards the town, there's on our map. There's a specific area that says Monster Portal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the island.
Yep.
I want to fly towards this edge to see if I notice anything else in particular.
That seems to be the darkest, deepest part of the water.
Oh my. Yes, it does seem very deep. Now the stairs that I've walked down to go to the lower city. How far do those drop me? Because I know
About 40 to 50 feet. As you had gone down, the stairs aren't as deep as the lower city. You kind of ease your way down in as if the lower city is almost in like a basin.
Interesting. Would I think that this water goes deeper than the lower city?
You'd think it's about the lower city's depth, maybe deeper, but you can't see that far. You know, it's
yes.
it's far deeper than
It's very dark.
one would assume for this.
Interesting.
Should we throw a rock? Or go back through the portal?
As you're all investigating, another tremor happens. But it feels like it comes from the city. So
Okay.
the city itself shakes a bit, and it lasts longer than the last, and it gains a little bit more amplitude. Makes each of you stumble a bit, except for the one in the air.
Oh.
And as the tremor hits, there's a almost sound of a crumbly explosion, and in the city you see a plume of dust shoot up.
We gotta get back.
Yep. I fly towards the portal.
I run towards the portal.
I'll run and jump
Anybody
on the
need
portal.
help?
We're in the city about.
You can't tell. It looks further in to the north, not near the wall where you're at.
Okay.
I turned to Valari. Need a hand?
I'll just fly straight through.
I'll try it. I'll try and jump.
Okay.
Do I roll?
I'll allow that each of you has made it through once, and that you are in a little bit of a panic, that adrenaline kicks in, that you do make it through.
Okay.
Each of you has jumped and leapt through, and Valari knows how she got through, so she hops up and kind of taps the portal and lands right next to Ebron, and he seems unfazed as he heard everyone coming through. He looks up. Seems part of the city's been consumed.
Consume.
What?
What do you mean consumed?
He stands up and walks to the edge of the park and looks to the north, where the Calmonto mansion was. There's a plume of dust still settling, and it's just gone.
Did
I'm flying
you
there.
do this?
Mm-hmm. Mage hand. How long does Mage hand last?
I can keep recasting.
So you cast it and you drop it into your next Mage hand.
Pretty much.
Cool.
So he's done that a few times. You
Every
see him
minute.
Just,
It's just boom, boom.
boom. You see the dust settling a bit, and Ebron just shakes his head and looks. I've been here on the bench.
Well, we haven't been gone that long.
We gotta figure out what's going on.
We were right there.
A rush of a couple guards towards the dust you can see in the distance. And then they slow down as they get closer to what seems to be where the dust is settling. Not sure of what's in it. It's a very thick dust. Almost as if like a plume of it had just shot up from the home. And they stand back a good 20, 30 feet and are just waiting for it to settle.
So the dust is still up in the air,
Yeah,
or
it's a
starting?
slow settle. It's a very
Mm.
heavy settle of the dust. So it's a very fine powder in the air. You see almost as if like small bits of dirt and dust have cluttered the city. It's a much dirtier in the area around the mansion.
What's happened?
Are the people around us?
No, many
Okay.
people
Fled,
have
ran away.
run. You do see a couple faces in windows peering out. And then you see a handful of people making their way towards the gates as if they want to get out of the city for whatever reason.
I'll use Mage Hand and see if that magical barrier that was there before is still there.
You are still towards the park unless you want to keep
Oh, yes.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah. We're
continue.
going.
Okay.
We all
So
wanna go
you're
there,
continuing up. You get to the edge of this dust cloud that is slowly settling for you, that you can see that the mansion and front gates don't seem to take up the same presence that they did. At least the front gates are gone. And you hear kind of a crumbling of rock up ahead. You do note that the ground where the cobblestone was really tightly put together is now loose cobblestone, as if kind of tilting towards a hole.
I'm still flying, so I'm fine. But everyone else, be careful where you step.
Yeah, I won't go too close if it seems like.
The guards are easing in a little bit ahead of you. You hear one shout to another, "It drops off over here!" And then another, "Over here too!" "Is it a sinkhole?" And you hear shouts. And as you've flown up, Garth, you notice that this plume of smoke, or this plume of dust, is like settling, and it's almost a perfect outline of where the mansion's borders were, just dropped through the ground.
And can I, like, as the dust is settling, does it look like even below it, the lower mansion, or does it look like the mansion, the
It
upper
looks
mansion
like a-
collapsed on
Yeah,
itself?
it looks like a deep dark hole here. The mansion sucked right down in. The lower mansion doesn't seem to be there like it crumbled in. It just seems to all have fallen. You just see darkness. You see some torches underneath a little bit, as if the lower city guards are inspecting down there too.
The mansion itself, the whole thing, both top and bottom, it's just gone.
I turn to see how Ebron's doing.
Ebron is standing far back behind you all, just staring at the dust and shaking his head, and not disgust, but just like in a bit of unsure fear.
I walk up to him. What could have caused this?
I don't know, and I'm worried that it's to do with what's affecting me.
Do you notice anything different about the coin and the stick?
No, you do feel just a slight tingle of magic to them, as if they're imbued with something, but you don't recognize what. At least in this moment, they don't seem to be of effect to you.
Okay.
Ebron, have you heard any rumors of anything under the lower city?
I think that's where what's affecting me is coming from. I've heard rumors that there's sounds below the city recently. Grumblings, tremblings, as if something large lives under there, but no one cares to regard that.
On the north side of the city. The lake itself is on the south. I don't think any monster there could be.
I'll use my mage hand to try to see if there's a barrier still there.
No barrier. There seems to be nothing but dust, and you kind of clear it as you waft the mage hand through.
So, the magical barrier that was protecting the house is gone. Do you
How
want to try
protected?
flying towards the hole?
Yeah. Why not? I'll try. I'm gonna fly over where the house used to be, and I'll even kind of like slowly circle down.
Mm-hmm. As you slowly circle down, you do notice that some of the lights that were in the lower city, as they're at the edge, one kind of falls off in, as if someone's testing to see the depth. Another gets snuffed out, however, and then the lights move away from the edges. There's a bit of noise, as if there's not so much a battle, but a tussle happening. You hear some crumbling, but you also hear metal and like rock hitting.
I'll shout to them. Something's happening down here. I can't fully see, but get to the lower city.
As you shout that out, some of the guards at the top with you are backing up a little bit as bits crumble in.
How far is the lower city from?
I mean, you could run back to the Stumble on Inn.
I know, but how?
40 feet deep.
It's about 40 feet at this point, where the home was.
Be careful near the edges. It seems like things are still falling in.
I look over at these two. I don't assume that Ebron's coming down.
Probably
Does it-
not.
Do we go?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. So we'll go back to the Stumble On Inn.
As you go through the Stumble on Inn, you hear some screams coming from the lower city.
Be ready.
A guard bursts in and he's bloodied up, and he looks around and he goes, "It's a monster that I thought was legend, but is here.
Do you need reinforcements, or are we abandoning?
I think my men are still fighting out there."
Okay. I
I
rush down
create
past
my
him.
bow.
Create your bow.
I
Awesome.
grab my axe, my great axe.
As you walk through the door cautiously, you see a body thrown towards the inn, and ahead of you, a creature very tall and bug-like. And it seems that as it walks forward, the guards that are swinging at it, one of them stops and ends up stabbing his mate next to him, and then falling to his face. And then one of the other guards just stops dead in his tracks and stares off.
I shout to them, it's messing with your mind. I just fire a magic missile at it.
You fire a magic missile.
With my great axe.
Perfect. Roll for damage, and everyone else roll for initiative.
Ooh.
Sorry, remind me. It's not on my sheet. I need to add this. Magic
What?
missile does.
1d4
Thank you.
for every bolt. And
Cool.
since you fired magic missile, usually it fires 3.
Yeah.
So it's 3d4.
7 damage.
7 damage. Perfect.
What's that for?
Initiative.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice.
Okay. 25.
25.
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, everyone else's initiative. Garth, we'll go with you because you're next in
18.
18. Lord Drackland.
Sorry, I'm looking up a spell real quick.
Okay.
I got a 15.
15. Perfect. Valari?
5.
5. Okay. Alright. It starts with Ari after she got her free hit in. The 3 bolts hit this creature and leave little pock marks on the carapace. The carapace.
The body of
Ladies and
The-
gentlemen, your vocab word for today.
It's like the shell of a
A bug.
bug of sorts.
Okay. Is there anywhere that I can hide? Like,
You can tuck back into the inn through the door. You can
Right.
probably like step out.
and by
There's a-
hide, I mean be out of its line of sight.
There's a couple like stations that look like they served food outside of the inn.
Okay.
So very small cupboards and a little countertop. There's a small cart off to the side,
Okay.
just off of the steps that
Cool.
look like it was used for sale as well.
So I want to do some damage before getting in close. I'm going to fire a magic missile.
All right.
7 again. And then with my second attack, I would like to fire a magic missile for my 3rd time.
Dang.
It's only 6 this time.
So,
And then with my action, I would like to go duck behind one of those carts.
With your movement.
With my movement, sorry.
Yep.
I'm going to duck behind one of those carts and just put my great axe on the floor so I have my hands free for my next turn.
all right. Perfect.
Hmm.
Garth, your turn.
All right. So I kind of saw Garth like flying and then like flying in underneath to check things out to come from that way.
Okay, so you're coming up behind this big bug-like creature.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who aren't sure what this is, it's very ape-like mixed with a bug. It's got a hardback shell. This is allowing people to metagame at this point, but this is what you're seeing.
Unless you don't know.
Yep. So you're coming
Unless
from
you're a
behind.
newbie.
So you're coming from behind it.
Oh,
Mhm.
it is either.
Okay. Well, I am going to. I'm probably gonna fly in. I'm gonna get myself lower to the ground and like just stop focusing on Mage Hand and kind of like land.
Mhm.
Get myself on the ground there.
About how far behind? Or are you
Um,
going in front?
no, I'm gonna stay behind it because I would have just seen the explosions of the magic missile hitting
Yep.
from
Yep.
Ari on that side. I'm like, well, let's surround it, I guess. So I'll stay like 60 feet back if that's not in the hole.
No, at this point it's moved towards the stumble on in, so you're
Okay.
you're between edge of hole and
Okay.
stumble on in, so you're good.
Great. And so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go big, go home. So I start casting, and all of a sudden, like the earth starts breaking up around me, and these meteors, the flaming meteors, come around me, and they start spinning as I cast Melf's minute meteors.
For the Book of Misspells, it's Melf's Minute Meteors.
Mhm.
Ding!
And I get to send up to 4 at it right now.
Perfect.
For you, it is a Dex save.
A Dex save. All right.
Well, that roll is being made.
Times
Penguin
2.
Witch Doctor. It took at least me a minute. He was saying it's cool. You got 2 spells willing
19?
to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had a couple years
And
of them playing.
19 and 18?
Mhm.
Okay. So you will take half damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There was a lot of teeth.
And shoe bribing.
Which is
I wish. That would've
2d6
been
fire
really
damage
effective.
And good old
I
fashioned
should've
kidnapping.
negotiated
2d6
better.
fire damage.
per. So because I can send up to 2 at a time on either an action or a bonus action. So I'm using my action and my bonus action to send 4, and each bolt.
Casting it is free.
Casting it is an action, but on my action I can
Also.
also
Okay,
send.
So you can cast it and send. Okay.
And then I can use a bonus action to send.
Perfect.
So I can, each one, though, does 2d6,
All right.
right?
So
That's-
you need
Run out.
8 of those.
You
There.
need a
I got them.
big
I got them. I got them all. That's why I have all these dice out.
That's why I have all these.
Oh, man.
Now you have to math.
Yeah, I gotta add up all these 4s,
That's
which is
nice, though.
4 times 5 is 20, plus 5, 25.
25.
And then half.
Was it
Alright.
halved?
Is halved, yes.
So 12.
I'm not doing that math.
Ain't too
I
shabby.
did.
Perfect. All right. So you see these things explode on the back of the shell, and as you do, you notice that there is almost like a painted emblem on the back, and you can't quite get a good look at it because there's explosions and dust, but
Mhm.
you see that there's a painted bit.
Interesting. Okay. That's my turn.
Lord Dracklin, sir.
Alright, how far away am I?
You're about 45 feet out.
Okay, so I will move up 15 feet to be within 30 feet.
Mhm.
I will cast Hexblade's Curse on it as my bonus action. And then I will back up. So Hexblade's Curse, let me just tell you what it does real quick.
It kills you automatically. Sorry, big bad evil dude.
It's true.
It's tough.
I get bonus to damage rolls equal to my proficiency bonus when I'm attacking the cursed target. Any attack of a 19 or a 20 is a crit instead of just a 20.
Yep.
And then if it dies, I regain hit points equal to my warlock level plus charisma modifier.
Perfect.
So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to back up with my additional 15 so it would be in the spot I originally was, and then I will take 2 shots at it with my bow.
Alrighty.
My magical summoned bow. That's in the middle of 2.
Mhm.
I'm going to re-roll it.
Oh, chicka bow wow.
Ooh.
That's going to be a 21 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. And then damage is going to be a d8. Plus... Where's my 8? D8 plus 5, but then it adds the 3. So d8 plus 8. So that's going to be 15 damage.
Alright.
And then my second attack is going to be a even better 24 to hit.
Hits. No, that one.
That one misses. And then that's going to be 10 damage.
So 25 total damage there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Dum, dum.
And I'm aiming for like the little part of its like unibrow.
Oh, right between the big bug eyes.
Yeah,
Alright, perfect.
exactly.
So you fire those shots, and one sticks into the skull, and one sticks into like the chin.
Perfect.
Oh.
And the creature kind of stumbles a bit and lets out a chatter roar almost, a mix of bug and
Is
beast.
this like a really terrible cockroach?
basically
With
with big old muscly arms.
It's going down.
With big old muscly arms. It is now
Burn it.
this creature's turn. The creature does run towards the shots that were just fired.
Yeah.
But he also moves off to the side and drops down just a little bit. And as he drops down, you see that he quickly sinks into a small hole and ducks out of cover, or ducks out of the way, and is now keeping just his head above ground. So he's in 3/4 cover, which does make it much harder to hit.
So we can go golfing and take off his head?
Yeah, we're gonna play
Fine.
whack-a-mole.
You might, but he's up towards the stumble on in, and he's within about 20 feet of where Dracklin's at, and can see both Drackland and Ari where you had moved, and Valari, you're probably in the door frame still, correct?
I literally haven't.
You haven't even pushed through the door yet.
I haven't had a turn.
Valari, it is your turn.
Okay. How far away is the spider head from me?
This big creepy head is about 35 feet out. You're in the doorway, and you saw him kind of burrow down and like get ready to attack. All right.
I'm gonna cast Chromatic Orb
At
at
what
level
level?
3,
Okay.
lightning damage. But first, I think should we resolve my wild magic?
At this point, your wild magic kicks in. You cannot stop the first one.
Yeah.
And you will probably have a second one come up behind, and you just wait up. Oh wait, no. This one just goes. So, centered on you,
Okay.
Fireball is cast.
Oh no!
You are standing in the doorway. That means Drackland, Ari, yourself.
I'm behind cover!
Oh, you're behind cover between the bug beast.
Yeah, she would be on your side of cover, but
Yeah, she's on your side of cover. And,
I thought I pictured myself going around to this side.
She's
I thought it was
fine.
over here.
And the lower innkeep are
no.
all within
Who's gonna kill me?
range.
Deck saves.
So,
I don't think
Fireball.
you're getting out of it though.
What do you mean? It's casting from me.
It's centered on you.
So Fireball needs a dexterity saving throw
Mhm.
from each of you.
Okay, should be.
It's questionable.
12.
15.
Did he get by it?
He's on the other side.
I'm on the other side. I'm good.
15.
15.
Astro.
Astro. He's got a 15 as well.
I'm the only one who gets damaged.
No, everybody gets damaged.
Everybody gets damaged.
Inkeep.
Inkeep.
The save is for half damage.
Nat 20.
No, Inkeep's getting full blast. He's the only one that gets full blast. It is not cast at the normal level 3. It is cast at level 2.
Oh.
There is reduction.
Oh, thank goodness. I still think I'm gonna die.
I still think I'm gonna die.
Welcome to
If
Wild
I hold
Magic,
my
Alex.
frying pan...
Oh, it's gonna be half though for me, so okay, I don't think I'm gonna
Yeah, it's halved.
die. You're holding your frying pan up to protect yourself and just food's flying out of it.
Yeah.
Good thing you already used that thing.
I
Otherwise,
used it.
Breakfast would be all over
Alright.
the ground.
Damage is 18 points.
Halved.
So halved is 9.
For everyone or for
Nine
do I?
points.
Am I halved or not? You didn't tell me if I
Yeah,
saved.
you get half. All of you have rolled.
Talk about friendly fire.
The
Sure.
innkeep, however, takes all of it, and he gets blasted back. His clothes are on fire. He lets out a smoky cough, but he's still alive.
Okay.
The bugbear also... The
But
bug,
now
the
you
bug,
can
I'll
guess.
finish him off.
did the bug also take
The
it?
innkeeper.
As I
He's right
said,
about-
I casted
He's about 20 feet further.
Chromatic Orb
Chromatic orb.
at level 3.
At level 3. So
With
the
lightning
explosion
damage.
happens around you, and you've got chromatic orb ready to go.
Yeah.
Please roll to hit.
No, it's a 20.
Oh.
So that's automatically 40 points of damage.
Oh. Automatically 40 points of damage.
Plus 5 more d8s.
Oh.
Alright.
So for those who were not here earlier, there was a donation and a natural 20 was awarded to Valari, and she's using
Oh,
it to
nice.
go around
Oh,
the
wow.
3/4 cover.
8, 16, plus another 6 is
22.
22. So that's 62 points
Oh
of
my
damage.
god.
I gotta get more spells that I can hit things with. Too many saves.
I have to say, Gobshite, thank you for your nat 20, because this finishes off the creature. I wasn't able to use it this round, but next time it's saved and
I thought
ready
they
to
didn't
go.
carry over.
No, they do.
They
The
do.
nat
All
20s
of
carry
them.
over.
All of the nat
But
20s
you-
carry over
you
because
just
it's
killed the bug.
it's a purchased earned thing.
Yeah.
So
All
we
the
try to
stuff
make sure
carries.
everyone's money and purchases is around, but that means I've got a nat 20 next game in 2 weeks. But this chromatic orb crackles and burns in Valari's hand, and it's got smoke built up around it as she has just torched the lower part of the Symbolon in, and she lets it fly, and it whirls square into the face of this Umber Hulk,
Jeez.
which you guys
Yeah.
did a ton of damage to and didn't get to suffer the ill consequences, but you did get to see what happened.
Yeah.
It crackles into its face, head explodes into a spray of green goo. Shell bits go everywhere. Garth, you are thinking, oh no, the painting on the back.
Yeah.
A chunk of the shell does pop out, but
Yeah.
bits and pieces go everywhere, so you get a good portion of the painting, you hope.
Yeah.
It's a gooey mess in the hole this Umber Hulk had dug, and there's a little bit of green spray that hits Drackland as he's in the way.
His,
Otherwise,
his clothes are also scorched a little bit.
So like in that moment that she was doing this, it's like the fireball comes like ah,
boom, splatter, you
and
get a
then
little green
she
in your
shoots
mouth.
it, and the thing dies, and then like I get my hit points back for my Hexblade's curse. It's like ah, oh yeah,
And then the green goo.
I feel perfectly good again.
as you got green goo coming down your face, and your perfect clothing is now scorched and splattered.
Wait, how does that work? You got that because it was.
Explain.
So when
Okay.
it dies,
Curse.
then I get my Warlock level plus hit charisma points, which is exactly 9, which is all the damage I took. So I go into full health.
Nice.
So the narrative moment, I love it.
My inventory list says I have good berries. Do I still have good berries?
Good berries last 24 hours. I think you got them at the end of last session, so you would probably have them starting to look more like good raisins.
Can I give them to Astro?
Yeah, you can give them to Astro.
So
Astro,
it's 1
yep.
point for each.
He'll take. Yeah, you can give all 3 to him, and he'll get 3 points back.
And he'll be very full.
And he'll be very full because he is now a puppy with 3 full meals in him, 3 full days worth of food.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll be better than
Yeah, little Astro is smoking at every bit, and he's just kind of looking around as to what happened there. Green goo in the pit. Players,
But now he has a full belly.
what would you like to do?
I need to
Things
look at the
aftermath.
shell.
Mhm.
I want to look at what's painted there. What
Yeah.
I can make out.
As you look at what's painted there, you do see in a bloody painting style, as if used with actual blood, almost a partial outline of what you'd assume to be a bird or a dragon wing or something.
Interesting.
Is that guard okay?
Which one?
The one that got blasted with the fire.
The innkeep.
Oh, the innkeeper. He's sitting there, patting out a couple little flames on him. He is pretty well beat, but he's still alive, and he's just kind of taking in the fact that he now has a very flame darkened inn.
Yeah, well, he's okay.
Oh well, he's okay. True, what? Neutral character right there. Eh, whatever.
He's okay.
It's okay.
The couple guards that had stood and stared off kind of come to and look around, and they rush to the aid of the one who is stabbed in the gut, and they seem to be able to stabilize him. One of the guards is now looking for his weapon, as he had dropped it at some point, and he looks to the group who seems to have defeated the creature. It came from the hole back by where the mansion was.
Are there any others?
Not that I know of, but this one thing couldn't have done that much damage.
Not
Could it?
one. Not one. I don't think.
I mean,
Can I
it didn't
roll-
even attack.
Can I roll?
would it be history or nature on an Umber Hulk and their abilities?
I mean, history would get you if you know that you've read about it. Nature would be...
Can I roll history as well?
Yeah, it'd probably be a thing I've read
studied it.
about.
I put my great axe back.
Cool.
This is my lowest roll, so it's only a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 8.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You recall that you've read about giant burrowing insects that can burrow almost as fast as they can walk. They leave gaping tunnels behind, and you do recall that in Undercity's past that you've been in, that they had gained control of a couple to help dig new tunneling, but it had backfired and they turned on masters and caused them to kill one another as well.
Okay, I will relate that information to the group in a very pompous. Obviously,
Studied
I've read
way.
this before. Way.
Oh, I
Fascinating.
know what these are.
I hadn't read about them.
Yeah, you actually hadn't.
It's very interesting. They're tunnelers. Those 2 guards that we heard muttering in the inn before we met up with Ibram. They
were talking
mentioned
about
tunnels.
Yes. Perhaps somebody's been using Umberhulks to create tunnels
Well, there's a mark.
to
Look.
sneak around in the city.
I point out. I use Mage Hand to pick up. I don't know if it can, if it's too heavy.
It's a little heavy, but you're able to tip it so the
Yeah.
light shines.
Because I don't want to touch it. Because it's gross.
It's ooey gooey bug
I'm like,
I'll start like
but look at
wiping
it.
the green goo on my cloak on you.
It's the digitation. I taught you this.
It's too thick.
Look at this symbol. It's some sort of wing. Dragon, bird.
Dragon King.
I was gonna say I would assume it's a dragon wing based on
I would assume as well, but it is a wing. It's very crude. It looks like it's drawn in blood itself.
Well, if you were going to send a creature to attack a city, why would you put your own symbol on it?
But the thing didn't even attack, did it?
I think
It was
did.
moving to you
It
guys
was
just
trying
dispatched
to.
it very quickly.
Yeah.
Dude, I might even go. Perhaps we should check closer to the hole, just in case there are any others coming into the lower city.
As you get towards the edge of the gaping abyss now, it's dark. The torches that were thrown in don't seem to have landed or have gone out. You hear faint noises of scuffling or scuttling down in the tunnels, or down in this abyss. And you do think you see a glint of light flicker from time to time down in the tunnel on the east side. It's very well shapen around the edges of where the lower Calmanto mansion gates were. So it looks very deliberate and very planned, not just a sinkhole for the fact of a sinkhole. The guard walks up next to you all. Seems to drop for days. I'd be careful standing around this unless you can get yourself back out.
He can. Oh, I can too now. I take off the
can't.
belt. Which I realize I'm still wearing.
Yeah, if you were to be hit, you would have been splattered.
Pretty much.
I can't piece it together yet.
Nor can I, but there definitely seems to be something working down there.
And as you stare down into the abyss, and the guard stares with, where you keep seeing a glint of light, suddenly a burst of flame shoots through and disappears and goes silent. And this is where we end the mystery tonight.
No! I mean, 4 more hours?
4 more hours, we'd have to take another break.
Okay,
We'd
we'll
have
be
to
back
get
in 10
dinner.
minutes.
We would have to.
We'll be back in 20
We'd have to
minutes.
talk to the union to make sure I don't overwork
We'll be back in
you guys.
21 minutes.
Wash our hands 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to.
How about 2 weeks then?
I'd have
Can
to
we
pay
come
you
back
guys
in 2 weeks?
overtime. Overtime's like what? Half, 50% more on your $0 pay.
No.
I'd have to pay you 0.5.
Because everything we've earned today is going to the LA Food Bank. So thank you all for the donations, the subscriptions, anything that we brought in today is going there.
But even more, thank you for I don't know, just caring about other people. I know it's like good to see that amidst everything else, people fighting over,
TP.
you know.
Yeah.
So.
I will extend this just a little because I know some people don't get the chance to watch us live. Today is what, the 20th?
It's the
14th.
14th. Hi, Day.
So we will, for the first few rewatches through Wednesday, we will allow any other donations. So the 18th. So if you have a donation that you want to send in, while we're offline, you can still do that. The donation form is still there. If you subscribe while we're offline through the 18th, we want to make sure that we just didn't close off the window because you want to help support. But like we said earlier, if there is somewhere you want to support local to you, do so. We're excited for that. But we do also know that sometimes it's challenging to find that place or find that donation button because sometimes it's not there on certain sites. So we want to open that up to everyone to continue to do that. We thank you for tuning in, and we will be back in 2 weeks. Just a reminder again, this is a second and fourth month because we got a little offset with some schedules, but that's all right.
Everything else in the world is canceled and postponed.
Everything
so
else is canceled and postponed, and worst comes to worst, we can still all Skype in next week if we have to do that. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, and then we'll be returning back to our first and third schedule. So we'll have the fourth week, and then back to first and thirds.
Boom, boom.
Catch us on our Instagram. You'll see more news there. See you. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.
Thanks for hanging out.